It's the Hyundai Leadoff Man Show. Now, here's Len Casper.
Springtime has finally arrived here in Chicago. The flowers are blooming and the Cubs bats, I guess, are booming. A big offensive start to this series. They go for the sweep today over the Cincinnati Reds as we present the Hyundai Leadoff Man here on WGN Sports. Hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. The Cubs bats are really getting it going now, and they've done it the last two nights without their leadoff hitter, Alfonso Soriano. He's on the disabled list with a right calf strain, but the Cubs picked up where he left off, and last night, early on in the first inning, the Cubs got 4 runs. Kosuke Fukudome turned on one right inside the first base bag, scoring both Ryan Theriot and Derek Lee. Mark DeRosa kept things going with another double. 2 runs would score. Fukudome, Ramos Ramirez in. Then in the third inning, Derek Lee tied for the major league lead in home runs. That was his 6th. Well into the bleachers. And then later, after a hit and a couple of walks, Giovanni Soto with a double to left. 2 more runs scoring for the Cubs, Ramirez and Fukudome again. And on the mound on a night when the wind was howling out of Wrigley Field, Carlos Zambrano got it done. He had 5 strikeouts in 7 strong innings, gave up just 2 runs on the night to improve to 2-1. He also did it with the bat from both sides of the plate. That's one of his 3 hits, a double in the 7th. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored for Big Z. And the Cubs now have won 4 straight at home, 3 consecutive games overall, 12-3 the final. And again, Carlos Zambrano with the win. Today, Ted Lilly will look for his first win here in 2008. And when we come back, we'll hear from the Cubs' new leadoff hitter, at least for the time being. Mike Fontenot will talk with Bob Brenly. And as we go to break on the Hyundai Leadoff Man Show, we'd like to recognize our Chicagoland Hyundai dealer of the game, Edelson Hyundai in Countryside. Hyundai, the right choice. Log on to myhyundaichicago.com. We'll be back.
Andrea Barrow is a real Geico customer, not an advertising spokesperson. So to help tell her story, we hired one.
One day a rock chipped the windshield on my car.
Oh dear, broken glass sends shivers down my bottle.
I filed my claim at geico.com and scheduled an appointment.
It was a piece of cake, or maybe more like hot pancakes.
The repairman came right to my house and fixed my baby like new.
Now I feel rich, thick and buttery too.
Geico, real service, real savings.
Oh, someone has put a logo right over my face.
What are you doing?
Is that the Grand Slam?
No. Oh.
Introducing the Build Your Own Grand Slam. Choose any 4 items and make it your slam, starting at $5.99.
Denny, real breakfast, 24/7.
Kingsford Charcoal invites you to slow down with new KC Masterpiece Chipotle and Lime Marinade.
5 nuclear bombs, and that's just the first hour.
Now we're gonna have some fun.
The most explosive season yet. 24, Saturday at 12:30 a.m. Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by Hyundai. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, the right choice. Log on to myhyundaichicago.com.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. 2 teams going in opposite directions. The Cubs winners of 3 straight. The Reds have dropped their last 5. Well, the Cubs have to make do without Alfonso Soriano for the next couple of weeks or so, and Mike Fontenot has earned some playing time. He's in there playing second and batting first again today, and he's with my partner, Bob Brenly.
Thanks, Len. It's our pleasure to be joined down on the field before Game 3 of this series by Cubs second baseman and interim leadoff man Mike Fontenot. Mike, you've done a nice job in the early going this season, coming off the bench, pinch hitting. Does your approach change at all now that you're in the lineup and you know you're going to get 4 or 5 at-bats?
No, it doesn't. I try to keep my same approach every day, get up there, see pitches, and, if I get one, hopefully put a good swing on it and do whatever I can and sorry as instead.
You and Ryan Theriot were members of the 2000 LSU National Championship baseball team, and obviously you had some great players on that team, but was there a quality about that ball club that you could sense that set them apart from other teams you played for?
Oh, definitely. There's a few guys playing in the big leagues that were on that team, and there was just something special about, everyone that was playing there at that time. We had a great coach, and, everything just clicked, and we ended up winning the World Series.
Talk about the comfort factor, the guy that you played with in college, very well. You guys have fielded a billion ground balls out there working together in infield practice. So what does that do for you looking across there and seeing Ryan Theriot short?
It makes you feel good, like you said, we've been doing it for years, taking a lot of ground balls, turning double plays and that type of thing. So it feels good to get out there and play with a guy, you've grown up with.
We had some shots of you in the dugout the last couple of years with Big Z. He gives you a hard time. He gives you that high five that you can't quite reach. And yesterday we had some shots of him pounding you down into the dugout floor. Why does he pick on you so much?
Well, that's our new handshake this year, the whole drive me into the ground thing. But yeah, he had the whole get up and get my hand thing going last year, but it's all in good fun. We try to take advantage of those types of things. It kind of helps bring the team closer together, everybody getting in there, having a little fun.
Well, continued success to you, and don't let Carlos hurt you.
Oh, will do.
All right. Len, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Bob. That's very similar to our handshake before we go on the air. Luckily, the cameras haven't caught it. When we come back, we'll talk about today's starting pitching matchup. Kosuke in the lineup for the Cubs as a Hyundai leadoff man continues.
Let me tell you about a very important phone call I made. When I got my Medicare card, I realized I needed an AARP Medicare Supplement insurance card, too.
One simple call gave me the chance to talk with a personal health insurance advisor
who answered all my questions about Medicare Supplement plans, so I could understand it all. After I called, I was able to choose the plan that was right for me.
If you're already on or eligible for Medicare, call now to find out how an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company, helps you pay some of the 20% of your medical expenses not covered by Medicare Part B. That can save you from paying thousands of dollars out of your own pocket. These are the only Medicare Supplement Insurance plans exclusively endorsed by AARP, a name you trust. When you call now, we'll send you this free information kit with all you need to enroll, so you can join the millions of people who've already trusted us for their Medicare Supplement insurance. Plus, we'll send you this free guide to understanding Medicare.
The prices are competitive. I can keep my own doctor and choose my own hospital.
and I don't need a referral to see a specialist.
Call now to get the free information kit. Plus, we'll include this free Medicare guide. And the advantages don't end there. You can choose from a wide range of plans that are all competitively priced, so you can find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. There are virtually no claim forms to fill out. And best of all, they're the only Medicare supplement plans endorsed by AARP.
When they told me these plans were endorsed by AARP,
I had only one thing to say. Sign me up.
Call now 1-800-592-0813 and let us help you choose the right plan. So call now 1-800-592-0813 and find out about an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan. A personal health insurance advisor is waiting for your call.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by Hyundai. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, the right choice. Log on to myhyundaichicago.com.
Now the mound matchup. Ted Lilly 0-2 with a .995 as he looks for his first win of the year. He still hasn't gotten through 5 in any of his starts. 24-year-old right-hander Edinson Volquez will make his first career appearance against the Cubs. He's off to a great start after coming over in the offseason from the Texas Rangers. The Cubs are rolling. They'll try to make it 4 in a row as they take on Dusty Baker and the Cincinnati Reds. We'll have all the action coming up on WGN Sports. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I love helping folks save money on car insurance, but I also love supporting wildlife conservation. I'm teaming up with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. I mean, that's why I'm here, really. I'm going to be making the rounds at a whole bunch of zoos. Hello? And I guess we're done talking? Well, that's that then, isn't it? Don't you even want to know where I'll be?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Today, I plan on not freaking out about my wireless bill. I plan on saying whatever when my daughter talks for hours. Yeah, I plan on being totally down with calling Denver in the middle of the afternoon, huh? Hollering at my boys, kicking it with three-way calling. I plan on grabbing my celly and getting my... Dad! Oh, sorry. Okay.
America's most reliable network introduces a plan with truly unlimited calling. Talk as much as you want with anyone in the U.S. for one flat rate. And now buy a text-friendly Envy Your Music playing chocolate for just $79.99. Verizon Wireless.
Call today for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express and start earning double miles in more places more often. Apply now and get up to 20,000 bonus miles. With award tickets starting at just 25,000 miles, you can fly free sooner. Plus, the annual fee is waived for the first year. Call 1-800-SKY-MILES. Call now for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card and earn 2 miles for every eligible dollar you spend for even faster travel awards on Delta and 15 airline partners. Take advantage of this great offer today and get 20,000 miles closer to a free trip. Plus, enjoy the card with no annual fee for the first year. Apply online or call 1-800-SKY-MILES now.
Plus, all new interviews. American Idol Rewind Season 2.
Sunday at 8 on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Cub fans, young and old, are making their way into the ballpark on a nice day for Chicago Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. Many stopping by the new Ernie Banks statue on their way into Wrigley Field. And the Cubs today go for the 3-game sweep. It's the Cubs hosting the Cincinnati Reds here on WGN. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs have taken advantage of the wind, which has been blowing out in this series, and they have pounded Reds pitching.
Yeah, it's all been about the offense so far in this homestand against the Cincinnati Reds. Not only a lot of base hits, but a lot of key base hits with runners on base. Team batting average of .370 in the first 2 victories against the Reds in this series makes it very easy on the starting pitchers when they know all they have to do is go out and throw strikes.
And the starters in this series have pitched well. In fact, the Cubs starters have pitched well here at home.
Good numbers for the Cubs starters here at home. The most important number that you're going to see on this graphic for me is the last one. Innings per start, 6 1/3. I talk about it all the time, the ability to use the bullpen in an orderly fashion, and the Cubs starters have done that here at Wrigley so far this year.
And along those lines, Ted Lilly needs to get beyond the 5th. He hasn't even completed 5 innings in his first 3 starts.
Well, the Cubs need a big outing out of Ted Lilly, and Dusty Baker, a little accommodating today, has 4 left-handed hitters in his lineup against Ted Lilly today.
The wind right now blowing from right to left. The Cubs did not take batting practice on the field. They did some cage work. Edinson Volquez, a guy who's gotten off to a very good start. His numbers were not very good with Texas, but he had a breakout year last year at AAA.
Yeah, and this is one of those guys. In the past, the Cubs have had problems against pitchers that they weren't familiar with, and certainly they don't know a lot about Volquez. They're going to find out very quickly. Good numbers to start the season. Features a real good fastball and an outstanding straight changeup.
Now the voice of Wrigley Field, Wayne Messmer, with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Big crowd on hand as the Cubs shoot for the sweep. We'll have the Reds and the Cubs next.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. The Chicagoland area Dodge dealers and the all-new 2009 Dodge Journey. AT&T. See what's new from the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. And by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Notice how digital's made pretty much everything better, especially television. Digital TV's got better picture, better sound, more channels. In fact, digital's so much better that by law, all broadcast TV has to be digital by 2009. But there's a catch. Some TVs need an upgrade to get digital. You could even lose your signal. Get the facts. Visit dtvanswers.com to learn about television switch to digital. Or call this number to see how you can stay connected.
Perfect beer deserves the perfect pour. Right down the middle, releasing all the flavor. Perfect.
Well, call me a perfectionist.
Last year, Expedia booked over 25 million trips worldwide. More trips than any other travel site. That gives you the power to get the best price. We guarantee it on each and every trip, including the one trip that really matters. Yours.
Go with confidence. Expedia.com.
My name is Sandra, and I got on eHarmony, and I met and married the most wonderful man of my life, Scott. I told my sister Tracy to give eHarmony a try. She met and married Todd when Todd's mother Eunice saw how great of a match we were.
And she was ready to get a dog, and so I just asked her, I said,
Mom, wouldn't you rather have a man than a dog? So he puts me on eHarmony. Lo and behold, look what happened.
She got my dog.
Find out what everybody's talking about. Visit eHarmony.com today.
That's our Bud man. He's always here, rotating stock, checking freshness dates, making sure your Budweiser is always perfect.
Does he make house calls?
Welcome back to the ballpark. Today's Cubs broadcast on WGN Sports is brought to you in beautiful high definition, sponsored by Comcast. The wind is actually blowing in from right. They do have the lights on. Oh, welcome to Wrigley Field. I have a feeling those kids will be back many, many times. They're begging Dad, please take us back. Let's check in on the Reds lineup against left-hander Ted Lilly. Norris Hopper starts it. He's in center. Ryan Friel at second base, his first start in the series. Ken Griffey Jr. with 595 home runs. Dunn, he's in left and cleaning up. Keppinger, Encarnacion, who's been hot lately after a slow start. Votto, the former Cub Paul Bacco, and Edinson Volquez, the pitcher.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind starter Ted Lilly. Brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. Mark DeRosa in left. Reed Johnson in center. Kosuke Fukudome over in right. Ramirez Interio on the left side. Our guest for the leadoff man show, Mike Fontenot, playing second base again today. Derek Lee over at first. Henry Blanco getting his third start of the year behind the dish for left-hander Ted Lilly. Goes without saying, the Cubs really need Ted Lilly to find the form that he had last year when he blitzkrieged through the National League. Has really had trouble with his command of all of his pitches. Everything works off the fastball, but we know he's got that big overhand curve as an out pitch for the left-handed hitters.
In his 10th season as a big league umpire, Ron Culpa will call the balls and strikes. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. The crew chief is Dale Scott, and he's at second. I just want to know how you shook hands with Mike Fontenot after your interview.
I didn't pound him on the head or anything. I didn't make him get up on his toes to give me a high five. Just a normal man handshake, you know. Just square up, get a good grip, shake a couple of times, and move along.
You didn't do the awkward give him the fist bump and he went to shake and then you both switched?
No. Okay. And no man hugs either. We didn't go for any of that.
We are underway. Ball one from Lilly to Hopper, who gets the start in center for Corey Patterson. Corey hitless in this series. There's a fly ball to right, sending Fukudome over towards the line, and that's the first out. The wind is out of the east at 7. 59 degrees as we get started.
The wind was blowing straight out earlier today. The Reds did take batting practice on the field. The Cubs had optional hitting in the cages, but the wind was blowing straight out earlier today. As you mentioned, it's turned around a little bit, now blowing right to left.
Friel skies to right. Well, that's probably a good lesson. I suppose when the wind is blowing out during BP, you might want to try your fly ball swing, but here the wind can change. Just try to hit line drives, right? That's what the hitting coaches tell you.
Yeah, if you hit line drives, you can hit in any ballpark under any condition.
So it's Ken Griffey Jr. with a couple of home runs. He took Ryan Dempster deep in the opener for number 595 of his career. When he gets to 600, Dusty Baker will have managed 3 players who have hit 600 or more home runs. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Ken Griffey Jr. And he was a teammate of Hank Aaron with the Braves.
Knows a little something about the home run ball.
Griffey with a fly ball to left. Mark DeRosa had a little trouble with the wind last night. Again, the wind today pushing everything toward the left field line. And Ted Lilly with a good start as the Cubs come up against Edinson Volquez.
Good boy. Yeesh. Though very rare, some wild animals can be trained. Unlike Mountain Dew, which can never be trained.
When you feel good inside, you feel good all over. Try Yo Plus for 10 days, and you just might feel like Yo Plus. Plus helps regulate digestive health naturally. Compare it to Activia. Both have special digestive health cultures, but only Yo Plus has cultures plus fiber plus vitamins A and D. And Yo Plus tastes great. Get more with a Yo Plus coupon at yoplus.com.
Motorcycle insurance, right?
How'd you guess?
You smell like freedom. You just smell like the open air.
#1 in motorcycle insurance. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Yoo-hoo! Progressive shoppers, safe drivers discounts are yours for the taking in aisle 3.
Safe drivers save money. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Let's check in on Lou Pinella's lineup today, brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. Fontenot in that leadoff spot again. Terrio right behind him. Identical .280 batting averages. You can't stop Derek Lee. Look what he's done at home. Ramirez, Fukudome, and DeRosa in the middle. And the bottom three featuring Johnson, Blanco, and Lilly.
Take a look at the Reds defensively. Dunn, Hopper, and Griffey Jr. across the outfield. Encarnacion and Keppinger on the left side. Friel and Votto on the right side today. Former Cub Paul Bacco here for the 03 and 04 season. He'll be behind the plate today for the young right-hander Edinson Volquez. Came over in the trade with the Texas Rangers that sent Josh Hamilton to Arlington. Volquez off to a great start this season. Features a fastball in the low to mid-90s, a tremendous straight changeup. He throws a curve and a slider, but everything works off that fastball changeup for Volquez.
So he faces Mike Fontenot. He goes up against the Chicago Cubs for the first time in his career. You can see that live arm, 93 on the fastball. That was our gun. The stadium radar gun had him at 96. So low to mid-90s. On that heat. Fouled off. No Johnny Cueto in this series. Cueto is just 22. But there's no doubt the Cubs will see him a couple of times later this year.
Now Volquez 24 years old going into opening day this season. You mentioned Cueto, just a baby himself, and I've talked repeatedly the last 2 days about a couple of other pitchers that they have stockpiled down in Double-A this year. A young man by the name of Pedro Viola. He's a 24-year-old left-hander that's on the fast track, as well as Josh Renicky, 25-year-old right-hander.
Mike stays alive.
Talked to Dick Pohl, the pitching coach for the Reds and former coach with the Cubs, about those youngsters, and he said they were extremely impressive in spring training. Just need some more repetition, some more experience. The Reds figure to have a good young pitching staff for years to come.
Another 0-2 pitch pulled on the ground. A diving stop by Joey Votto, and Volquez just beat Fontenot. Ended up diving head first. Got a little tap from Volquez for the hustle, but the call was made by Dan Isonia. When you get worried about a guy barreling into first base like that.
Boy, so many things can go wrong. Votto starts it with a nice play, flips a change up to his pitcher covering the bag, and looks like everybody's going to be okay. Potential for disaster there. When Fontenot saw the high throw to Volquez, he thought perhaps there'd be a tag play. That's why he goes down and tries to slide to the foul side of first base as he gets there. Volquez just does beat him to the bag.
A very late slide. I actually was watching the flip. I thought he went in head first, but he went in feet first. Ended up headlong. And here's Ryan Terrio. The on-base percentage at a nice .357, slugging .400 on the year. He has 4 hits in the series, including 2 doubles and a home run. But a big key for the Cubs right now is to get the top 2 hitters on base, because Derek Lee is probably, if not the hottest hitter in baseball right now, certainly one of them. He has 9 hits over his last 3 games. bouncer to Edwin Encarnacion. 2 down.
Six home runs in the entire first half of the season last year. He already has 6, and we're in the middle of April. Red hot Derek Lee.
His 1,400th career game today. Tied for first with 6 home runs. Leading the majors. He hit 6 the entire first half last season. The Cubs have scored 21 runs on 27 hits to start this set.
And the timely hits, coming up with some big base hits and extra base hits with runners on base. Jumping off to early leads in these games, and as I mentioned earlier, giving that starting pitcher for the Cubs just a little bit of breathing room as he goes out there to take them out in the early part of the ball game.
Volquez with an 0-2 pitch. He goes inside. Gerald Perry happy with the Cubs offensive output lately, and he has spent some extra time with Felix P.A. working on shortening his swing. Felix got an at bat late in the ball game last night and took a walk. That's a very good sign. They are videotaping his work so he can kind of see his progress. He'll be back in the lineup maybe within the next week. But Lou has said no rush. I want him to feel comfortable. Sitting next to Eric Patterson, who got the call up yesterday with Soriano going on the DL. He got into the game late. Here's a 3-2 pitch and a bouncer foul. Been a rough return to Chicago for Dusty Baker. His team came in having been swept in Pittsburgh, and they dropped the first 2 of this one. Volquez on a breaking pitch gets a called third strike. Derek not so sure about it. After 1, 0-0.
And that's what it's like to be a spy.
Hey kids. Hi. I'm not a spy or anything. My wife and I just own the Dairy Queen up the road, and I thought I'd make you all blizzards today.
Yeah! He's making blizzards!
It's a tough act to follow. The new Tin Roof Brownie Blizzard. Chocolatey covered peanuts and chewy brownie pieces. And also, be sure to try one of our Blizzard cakes.
What's your equation for keeping healthy?
I'm a chin-upping, baseball-playing, gotta-take care of me, one-a-day man.
One a Day Men's, the only complete multivitamin with more selenium for prostate health.
It fits my equation better.
Call today for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express and start earning double miles in more places more often. Apply now and get up to 20,000 bonus miles. With award tickets starting at just 25,000 miles, you can fly free sooner. Plus, the annual fee is waived for the first year. Call 1-800-SKY-MILES. Call now for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card and earn 2 miles for every eligible dollar you spend for even faster travel awards on Delta and 15 airline partners. Take advantage of this great offer today and get 20,000 miles closer to a free trip. Plus, enjoy the card with no annual fee for the first year. Apply online or call 1-800-SKY-MILES now.
Reno 911, Friday night at 1 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Nothing going for either offense in the first inning. Adam Dunn will lead off the Reds' second. He had 2 hits last night in a 12-3 Reds defeat, and he hit a ball out into Sheffield for his second home run. He has walked 4 times in the 2 games. Lilly's 0-1 is popped up. Ramirez battles the sun in foul territory, reaches over. Did he catch it? He did not.
That's one of the toughest plays for a third baseman defensively, to go over there. You know you're getting close to the wall. You can't take your eye off the ball. You see him shielding his eyes with his glove. If you take your eye off the ball even momentarily, you're going to look right back up into that sun. Ramirez just tried to stay with it and drift over near that wall. Looked like he had a glove on it, but the ball dropped into the seats. Continuing to shade his eyes as he gets over there, and finally at the last instant reaches over, crashes into the bricks, and the ball trickled out of his glove.
Blanco setting up toward the outside, a swing and a miss. So Lilly gets him anyway on the strikeout. In case you missed it, a couple of nights ago, Alfonso Soriano suffered a right calf sprain on a seemingly innocent play, ending the top of the first inning. He has a patented hop. Now he insists the hop was not what caused it, that he actually felt the calf a little bit in Pittsburgh last week, and then tweaked it a couple of steps after that hop. The Cubs are hopeful that he'll miss just the minimum 15 days. Here's Keppinger playing short. He broke his bat as that flare will land safely out in left center. Jeff Keppinger can hit. He came in at .322. We saw him a lot late last year as well. He's filling in for the injured Alex Gonzalez.
He's got a real nice approach at the plate, stays on the ball, keeps his bat in the strike zone for a long time. Hits a lot of balls hard, but he gets his share of those too. Guys that keep that bat in the strike zone for a long time tend to get those jam shot base hits or base hits off the end of the bat.
Encarnacion jumps on the first pitch. And it's Fontenot for the second out. Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. The next auction starts on April 25th for some key May games. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com. Check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. As Bob mentioned, the Reds with 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup against Ted Lilly. Inside out swing, and Joey Votto fouls it back into the second deck.
Now really, when you think about it, with the exception of Paul Bacco, a left-handed hitting catcher, Junior's an everyday player. He's going to face righties and lefties. Same thing with Adam Dunn, and Joey Votto is a guy that they figure to be a fixture in this Reds lineup for years to come. He's faced righties and lefties his entire career, so not that big of a shock that Dusty would have 4 left-handed hitters in there against Ted Lilly.
Now, this is only the 5th time they faced a lefty, but they're 1-3. And the Reds reportedly have expressed some interest in free agent Mike Piazza to bolster the right-handed hitting side of their bench. Lilly will lob it over to first base. He has talked about location. His pitching coach and manager have mentioned his arm strength not quite being where it was last year. I don't know if you believe in the dead arm period. Now it sounds like I'm contradicting myself when the Cubs say his arm strength is an issue, but physically he's fine. What do they mean? Because that's what they say. Is this? I guess the point is this is just kind of a natural thing that occasionally happens to a pitcher. He's not injured, but his velocity has been down a little bit.
The There's no structural damage. There's no inflammation of any kind that would signal a drop in velocity, but you hear it every year. Usually pitchers go through it about 2/3 of the way through spring training. They hit that dead arm period. They don't have pain. They don't feel poorly. They just lose a little velocity on the fastball. Their breaking ball is just not quite as crisp. They work through that barrier, and then ultimately, ideally, you start the regular season and your arm feels great and you're throwing the ball well. The velocity is where it should be, but Ted Lilly just hasn't quite reached that point yet. But no structural damage to his arm, no inflammation of any kind, no pain of any kind. I go through that dead brain syndrome every now and again. And apparently it's real common.
Oh, yeah. 2-2 on Votto. There are 2 outs and a runner at first base. Well, you sometimes hear about a starter. He just didn't have it that day, and in some ways Ted Lilly just hasn't had it his first 3 starts, so he's trying to get, quote, it back today. That's high. 3-2.
Well, you can struggle for a number of reasons. You can feel great out there on the mound, but if every pitch is over the heart of the plate and up a little bit, you're going to get banged around. If your command is not good and you're not able to hit the corners and you're missing the zone a lot, you're walking guys, falling behind in deep counts, that'll get you in trouble as well.
You see Paul Bacco pretty close to home plate. Runner was going on that 3-2 with 2 outs. Votto swings and misses. 2 Ks in the inning for Lilly. Cubs coming back in the second with Ramirez, Fukudome, and DeRosa.
Miss Popularity dumped him, and now he's got to prove he's still cool.
I'll pick the girl. And you got 6 weeks to turn her into the prom queen. Gentlemen, we have a winner.
But when her hidden beauty starts to blossom...
She doesn't like her $1 million makeover or her overnight popularity. That's not the point, man. I cared about her.
All bets are off.
This is one contest you're gonna lose.
Why'd you really come here, Zach?
I forget. Freddie Prinze Jr. in She's All That. Saturday at 3 on the Superstation.
When my doctor told me I had to lower my cholesterol, I was shocked. I worried about the foods I'd have to eat. But you do what you have to.
My wife insists I eat whole grain oats to help lower my cholesterol. I made the commitment for her.
I was told eating certain foods can help lower my cholesterol. I guess it's a sacrifice I have to make.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
No one said it would be easy. Be happy, be healthy.
Last year, Expedia booked over 25 million trips worldwide. More trips than any other travel site. That gives you the power to get the best price. We guarantee it on each and every trip, including the one trip that really matters. Yours. Go with confidence. Expedia.com.
For the doctors of Sacred Heart, no procedure is routine.
That's just wrong.
But every routine...
She took your heart and just... Aren't you supposed to save those?
...is a major production. Scrubs.
Oh, yeah!
Tonight at 11 p.m. on Superstation WGN.
Watch the Cubs take on the Pirates this Saturday at 12:05. Kids, get to the ballpark early. The first 6,000 children 7 and younger will receive an exclusive limited edition Cubs Dora the Explorer plush doll, compliments of Pepsi and Aquafina.
The Pirates should be in town. When I went to bed last night, they were still playing in Los Angeles. And they lost, and they'll come in at 7 and 8 tomorrow afternoon. 0-0, bottom 2. And Aramis Ramirez swings and fouls off. He has walked 8 times already. I asked him if he feels pitchers are working around him more. He said, you know what, I probably should have 20 walks. He said, I've swung at some bad 3-2 pitches, but he also added, he said, I'm an aggressive hitter, and I'm not going to fundamentally change at this point in my career. When you look at the on base and the slugging, he's been okay. He broke his bat, and that'll be a base hit. So 2 broken bat singles, one for Keppinger, the other one for Ramirez.
Well, the bat went down a hero, died on a base hit. I think any hitter in the big leagues would trade a bat for a base hit. From our Southwest RoboCam, a lot of space back up the middle of the field, over the head of Volquez into center for a knock. Good start to the inning.
If you just look at the batting average, you'd say, wow, Ramos off to a terrible start. He went into that at bat at .222. But his on-base percentage, the key at .338, the league average .328. And he's slugging .444. The league average is .408. Now, I expect those 2 numbers will continue to go up. But the point is that if you kind of look beneath the batting average, he hasn't been as bad as it might appear on the surface. And conversely, if you see a hitter early in the year hitting .330 and his on base is .338, something probably has to give, unless the guy can continue to hit .330.
No, which is pretty much what Ichiro does every year. Draws very few walks. He has to earn every bit of his batting average.
Big swing by Kosuke on a 2-0. Now it's 2-1.
Kosuke loves playing here at Wrigley. He's found a new home, hitting .462 here at the friendly confines. 7 of his 8 RBI have come here at Wrigley. I'll tell you one thing we've seen in the early going. Ron Culpa behind the plate is going to call a big dish. Called some pitches off the corners both ways. He's called a lot of strikes down around the bottom of the kneecaps.
Ramirez not a threat to straight steal. And it's fouled back. Still 2-2. Cubs have run more than usual early on. They're 3rd in the league with 12 steals and 17 tries. Quick word from Matt Sinatra, the first base coach, to the runner Ramirez. The next pitch, a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Volquez.
Came on that straight changeup that was actually out of the strike zone, down and in. Baca wants it away. Volquez misses all the way across the plate, but put it in a good location. That's that straight changeup. He'll throw it to lefties and righties.
Here comes Mark DeRosa. Got a 2-run double. As the Cubs scored 12 in game 2. It came in the first inning. Had a little bit of an adventure on a fly ball that got caught in the jet stream. Ball ended up landing on the warning track.
That was a tough time of night when that ball went up. It was just getting dusk here at Wrigley Field. The ball was the same color as the evening sky and got up in that wind, and he lost it momentarily.
Ted Lilly looking for his first win today. Rich Hill will do the same tomorrow. The Cubs are 9-5 and they don't have a victory from either left-handed starter. Does Volquez remind you of anybody just watching his delivery? I just kind of thought of Carlos Marmol. There's a lot of movement. And even on that changeup, as you mentioned, he really sells it well.
Front side flies open just a little bit like Carlos does.
His 3-0 pitch is a fastball for a strike.
Well, as you mentioned, Volquez was just a journeyman pitcher in the minor league system with the Texas Rangers until last year. He really came into his own, was the recipient of the Nolan Ryan Award for the best minor league pitcher in the Rangers organization.
And the Cubs now have 2 on for the 7-hitter, Reed Johnson. Looking good, Len Bob. Who's singing the stretch? Tom Arnold, comedian and actor, will handle the stretch. Although she couldn't hear us, right?
I'm sure somebody will relay it. There's Tom Arnold.
Will you stop texting him, Bob? We're doing a ball game.
He's saying, who the hell are Len and Bob?
Oh, but when he comes up here, hey Len, hey Bob, how you
Good
doing?
to see you again. Big fan.
1 strike on Reed Johnson playing center. Ramos started the inning with a single to center. Then Fukudome struck out swinging. Mark DeRosa just walked. Long look by Volquez. He has the sign from Paul Bacco. And the pitch toward right and through. That gets past Friel. The bases are loaded. Griffey up with it. He'll get it back to the cutoff man, Votto.
Clean single into right field for Reed Johnson, but Aramis Ramirez had to hold up and make sure that line drive got through the infield. From our Southwest RoboCam, you see Rami at the top of your picture there froze momentarily. DeRosa went back to first a step or two. When they see the ball down on the grass in the outfield, only then can they advance to the next base. Mike Quaddy with no choice but to hold Ramirez at third.
Henry Blanco owns 1 career grand slam. Good way to get on the board. No home runs, no RBIs. 3 hits and 8 tries. He's in there for Giovanni Soto, who knocked in 3 last night. Here we go. Strike 1. Blanco's calling card is his defense. Excellent throwing arm behind the plate. Calls a good game. And trying to come up with a big hit early on. Check swing. And he went too far, says Dan Iasonia.
Yeah, you be the judge. Naked eye, it didn't look like Henry went too far. Boy, that's very close. Right on the edge there.
You know, Ramirez has to be on his toes here if Volquez tries to bury one on an 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Giovanni off to an excellent start. 12 RBIs already. On the Cubs rookie board since 1956, only Hee-Seop Choi in 2003 with more April RBIs. We're only a little more than halfway through the month. Choi with 14 RBIs in April of 03. Soto already with 12. 2-2. The pitcher on deck, Ted Lilly. He'd love to match Carlos Zambrano both on the mound and at the plate. There we go, ball 2. Big second out for Volquez. The last 3 outs he's recorded have been strikeouts, and it's up to Lilly.
Volquez starting to get a better feel for that straight changeup as this game progresses. That was another one there off the plate, away and down. Well, you mentioned it earlier. It's really all about selling that pitch as a pitcher, giving good arm speed, making that hitter believe you're going to throw a fastball, and then that ball just kind of floats out of his hand about 10 miles an hour faster than his or slower than his fastball.
I was going to add, he's also getting used to the Wrigley Field mound, pitching here for the first time. But then again, just about everybody has to get accustomed to the mound after everything was leveled and lowered in the offseason. Field just looked great on opening day and continues to look better. The 1-1 pitch. Apparently he was outside. He did not get the call. It's 2-1.
Good body English here by Ted Lilly. Tried to make himself small and lean back away from that pitch to make it look even further outside.
He might just take the next two.
Well, the next one for sure. Yeah. And even if Volquez throws a strike and runs the count to full, that's a situation you like to have anyway. The runners will be on the move.
Fans are up here in the second. Here it is. Whoa, how about that? Looked like Ron Culpa was going to call a strike, and he did not pull the trigger. Lilly gets an RBI, his 6th career RBI. A bases loaded walk with 2 outs. A little double take there.
Yeah, I thought he was turning to make the strike call right there. Borderline pitch at best. He stood up and the right arm just didn't come up. Good thing for Ted Lilly and the Cubs. We'll take it.
So they're still loaded for Fontenot. Kicks away, but everybody's going to hold. Rosa's at third, Johnson at second, Lilly now at first. 2 singles, 2 walks in the inning.
First, Encarnacion came over from third base to have a word with his young right-handed pitcher. Now Paul Bacco calls timeout to go have a word. Let's give him a little bit of a breather. Been a high-stress inning for the youngster.
It's been a high-stress series for the entire Reds team. They lost 9-5 Tuesday night, and then last night it was over early, 12-3 the final. The 1-0 offering. He's been right near the strike zone, but just a little bit off the target.
A couple of borderline pitches that he was getting earlier in the ball game, he's not getting here in this bottom half of the second inning. That was a change up down there around the bottom of the kneecaps. We've seen that pitch called a strike a couple times already. Apparently he doesn't have his bicycle locked up today.
The 2-1 pitch. Mike was late.
Well, that used to be a big thing for the umpires. We joke about the uniform police, but you know, when the jewelry gets outside the uniform, it wasn't uncommon to stop the ball game and have a trainer come out and unclasp the necklace and take it back and put it in the medical kit or something. The guy would pick it up after the ball game, but Apparently the uniform police doesn't care much about jewelry anymore.
I don't think the medical kit would be big enough in this case. 3-2. So he's boxed into a corner again. He walked the pitcher, Lilly, on a 3-1. Now it's 3-2 on the leadoff man, Fontenot. And they stand at Wrigley. The runners will all be going. Here's the pitch. A ground ball to first base. Down on a knee is Botto. He'll take it unassisted. And the inning is over. The Cubs leave 3, but they do get a run on a bases loaded free pass to Ted Lilly. It's 1-0.
Make an appointment with Becker tonight at 12:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
You know, every day at 3 o'clock, Budweiser Brewmasters in St. Louis taste samples flown in from all 12 of our local breweries to ensure that every Budweiser tastes the same, coast to coast. That's a sweet job.
Dieting and exercising? Heard about One-A-Day Weight Smart Advanced?
No, tell me more.
This complete multivitamin gives you nutritional and energy support through a unique blend of guarana and other ingredients. One-A-Day Weight Smart Advanced.
At eHarmony, we match you across 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, not only can you log on to eHarmony.com and get your personality profile, you can also review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you would be matched up with according to compatibility?
He loves me for me.
Visit eHarmony.com and discover what so many singles have found. Log on today and review your eHarmony matches absolutely free. eHarmony.com.
What are you doing? Is that the Grand Slam? No.
Introducing the Build Your Own Grand Slam. Choose any 4 items and make it your slam, starting at $5.99.
Benny, real breakfast, 24/7.
Budweiser, first with refrigerated rail cars, first with Born on Dating. And now this, the new Fresh Lock cap. Keeps the air out and the freshness in. Innovation. Now that's Budweiser.
Relive the moments and the memories of Cubs baseball on WGN. Cubs Forever. Sunday at 7 Eastern on the Superstation.
2008 Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. Cubs getting an early run as Ted Lilly walked with the bases loaded. And he'll face 8, 9, and 1 in the Reds order, starting with Paul Bacco, who has tied his career high with an 8-game hitting streak. A high strike to start the 3rd inning. Ramos plays in on the grass at 3rd. Everybody else back. And a liner out into center is going to carry all the way into the glove of Reed Johnson. Great to see Max Harris along with his dad Sean from Gurnee here at the ballpark last night. Also wanted to wish a happy belated birthday to Gilbert Gaza, who is here with his good friend Wally Sarabikian from Summit.
Edinson Volquez taking his at bat here. He does a lot of things well out there on the pitcher's mound. Hasn't had quite the luck at the batter's box. That should be 0 for 24 lifetime. There you go.
Ontario throws him out. So 2 quick outs.
And now we'll have a very slow developing at bat by Norris Hopper. His job right now is to take as much time as possible, give his pitcher a chance to get back in the dugout, grab a towel, get a drink of water.
Stare at the bat. Knock the dirt out of his spikes.
And you would assume take a strike.
Not a bad time to. I got something in my eye here.
Retie your shoelaces one more time.
Get well wishes to Beverly Molesky watching the game today while recovering from surgery at St. Joseph's Hospital. Also a happy birthday coming up tomorrow to Beverly. It's from your son Eric, who runs the iTrack Vision training system out in the Cubs batting cage here at Wrigley Field. It's bounced up there 2-2.
And then we talked a lot about Ted Lilly and his lack of command in the early going this season, and I think it's really in effect taken one of his best pitches away from him. Last year he was so effective throwing that four-seam fastball inside to right-handed hitters. Now if you make a mistake on the inside part of the plate, it tends to get hit really, really hard. If you make a mistake on the outside part, you got a chance to keep the ball in the ballpark at least and live to battle against another hitter. But because his command has been so spotty, he's stayed away from that inside fastball to the righties.
Hopper draws the walk. Well, it's become a pretty stingy strike zone, hasn't it? And some really close pitches the last inning for both pitchers, and they haven't gotten a call. Here's Ryan Friel. He's in there for Brandon Phillips. I noticed Phillips is 0 for 13 in his career against Lilly, and he's also 0 for his last 10. So Dusty gives him the day off.
Friel 0 for 7 himself lifetime against Ted Lilly, but we talk about it all the time. Pick your spots to get those bench players in the game and give you a regular day off, and you might as well make it on a day when he struggles against that pitcher.
An injury-plagued 2007 for Ryan Friel. His 30 games on the DL with contusions to the head and neck. Suffered in a collision with the guy at first base, Norris Hopper, in late May. Runner goes, and Henry will not make a throw. Ted Lilly went straight down. Big backswing there by Friel.
Henry just never had a good grip on that baseball. I love how he gets his body into a position before he receives the ball, and you see Ted Lilly hitting the deck out there on the mound.
The kick and the two-strike pitch, it almost hit Friel.
That's a pitch I was talking about just a moment ago. That four-seam fastball. It almost has the appearance that the ball is cutting inside on the right-hander, but Ted tells us it's just a four-seamer that he throws on the inside part of the plate, and he's hesitated to use that pitch in the early going this year.
Friel's season ended last year in early August because of torn cartilage in his right knee. He plays all out, especially when he's in the outfield. We've seen some Ryan Friel-like tendencies already from Reed Johnson. Not afraid to get hit by a pitch.
Not afraid to run into a brick wall.
Big swing and the miss. That fastball was elevated, and Friel couldn't get it. The Cubs lead early on as they go for the sweep today, 1-0.
Really? So, lunch? A nice salad. Ooh, maybe some soup. Okay, soup, salad, breadsticks.
It's lunch at Olive Garden, featuring our homemade soups, our garden fresh salad, and warm breadsticks. All you want for just $5.95.
I'll call you then. Bye.
Devin?
Cindy, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'll say. You've got the whole Verizon Wireless network. Mr. Fear of Commitment. That's weird.
Well, they came with my pay-as-you-go plan, so I only pay for them when I use them.
So you haven't changed at all?
Nope.
Verizon Wireless pay-as-you-go. Forget long-term contracts. Just pay on the days you use your phone. That's reliability on demand at select retailers and Verizon Wireless.
Presenting Blue from American Express. The card with no annual fee and an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months with a low APR after. Call 1-877-557-AMEX or visit us online to get yours. You can pay over time, which makes this card remarkably flexible. It has a free rewards program with so many choices, it'll make your head spin. Plus, it has a fraud detection system which gives you extra security when you shop. All this with an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months and a low APR after. Call 1-877-557-AMEX or visit us online to apply. Blue from American Express.
America's Funniest Home Videos tonight at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The temperature seems to be dropping a little bit. The wind right now seems to be coming out of the north or northeast. It started coming right off the lake. The Cubs lead 1-0. Back to work at the plate. 2, 3, and 4. Ryan Theriot looks at a breaking ball strike from Edinson Volquez.
Flag has wrapped itself around that pole over the course of the day here. Mentioned it was blowing straight out during batting practice, right to left as the game began, now blowing straight in.
I guess Fred Washington and his great crew out on the scoreboard, they were having a little trouble last night with all that wind blowing right in their face. Not so easy for our camera guys either. Mike Clay out in the elements, and a base hit for Theriot as he shoots it past Ryan Friel.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link and look for Len and Bob's baseball blog. On the blog today, Len has a post catching up on news and notes. Game notes, of course, from our friends at Stats Inc. And Dusty Baker's return to Wrigley Field press conference. Once again, WGNTV.com. Click on sports and look for the link to Len and Bob's podcast.
A man on, nobody out. Derek took a call at third, his first time. Well, yesterday, April 16th, was the 60th anniversary of the first WGN telecast of a Cubs game. Jack Brickhouse called an exhibition contest here against the White Sox. The White Sox won that day. Shank foul by Lee. And a special night coming up Sunday. Cubs Forever, sponsored by National City, celebrating 60 years of WGN TV, and the Cubs will air at 6 o'clock Central Time this Sunday. Also, Cubs Forever, the book, is available at triumphbooks.com. And if you're in the area tonight, come on up to Winnetka, the book stall. Our executive producer, Bob Vorwald, will be talking about and signing some of those books. Cubs Forever, can't wait.
Otherwise known as author Bob Vorwald.
Author Bob Vorwald. Did you get a signed copy?
Yes, indeed. Boy, the pictures in that book are just incredible.
Steve Green, the Cubs team photographer, with a lot of great photos. One of my favorite baseball photos of all time was last year when Aramis hit the game winner against Milwaukee, and the wild celebration at home plate.
Boy, the looks on the faces, not only the Cubs players, but the fans that you can see in the background of the shot, just priceless.
It's 3-2. We'll see if Theriot goes. He digs in, and he's off for second, and it's dribbled foul.
Now the Riots 3 out of 5 in stolen bases this year, been nabbed a couple of times. In this particular situation, you play it more like a hit and run. You have to make sure that pitcher delivers the ball to home plate before you make your break for second, and A hitter like Derek Lee, with the eye he has at the plate, you trust him that he'll swing at a pitch in the strike zone and take ball 4.
The Reds want to turn 2. It's going to be tough with Theriot running. He goes again. Foul tip and a strikeout, and they got him on the shoulder. That is a double play. The strike him out, throw him out variety. Paul Bacco is now 3 for 7 in that department.
That was a nice job by Bacco. That pitch foul tipped directly into his glove. You don't always get a good handle on that one from our Southwest RoboCam. His throw started to tail. Friel stepped up into the baseline, took the throw about 4 feet in front of second base, and got the tag on Theriot as he tried to hook to the inside of the bag.
Nobody on, 2 down, 1-1 on Ramirez. Other games today, the Phillies all over the Astros as they go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 8-1 Philadelphia. Jimmy Rollins still out. And I guess a death in the family for Jimmy Rollins, so he won't be back for a couple more days at the very least. We did not see him appear in that Cubs series. St. Louis shutting out Milwaukee 3-0 as they play the bottom of the 7th. Kyle Loesch with an excellent start for the Cardinals. They're trying for their 8th straight home win. You could say possibly the Cardinals are the biggest surprise in baseball, which sounds strange to say.
I think given the expectations going into this season, I think you're absolutely right. They're a huge surprise in the early going this year. Continue to get some of their pieces of their pitching staff back in order. Joel Pinheiro throwing the ball once again.
Ramirez draws the 2-out walk. Well, it was a rough winter for the Reds organization. They lost several men who were very important to their franchise. They are wearing a patch in honor of Joe Nuxhall, who died in mid-November at age 79. After the 2004 season, he retired after 60 years, 6-0, in the Reds organization. Had a long battle with cancer. A fantastic broadcaster, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. He pitched for the Reds when he was just 15 during World War II.
We talked about Nuxie a couple of years ago, and it dawned on me, wait a minute, if he was 15 years old, how did he get to the ballpark that day? So I ran next door in the booth, and he said he took a bus. Took a city bus to get to the ballpark because he wasn't old enough to drive.
And the irony of it was his nickname became the Old Left-Hander. Even though he made his major league debut at 15. He used to end each broadcast with, "This is the Old Left-Hander," rounding third and heading for home. The Reds also lost Sheldon Chief Bender, who worked for the Reds for 39 years, was the longtime head of their minor league operations department. He passed away over the winter. Fukudome smacks it foul. Bender was awarded with a Purple Heart for his service in the U.S. Navy in World War II. Bob Howsam, who built the Big Red Machine in the 70s, also passed away, as did Bob Perkey, who won 23 games for Cincinnati back in 1962. They will all be missed. And chatting with Marty Brenneman, longtime partner of Joe Nuxhall, he said he was Such a fighter. He was not very healthy toward the end, but he kept battling. It was so great to see Joe at the ballpark.
Well, one thing the players really appreciated about Joe, he knew I was from Ohio. He knew where my hometown was, and every time the Giants came to Cincinnati, he made it a point to get me on either a pre or a post game show because he knew my family and friends would be listening back in Coshocton, Ohio. And he made it a point to seek out those guys who maybe had friends or family back in the state of Ohio or northern Kentucky or southeastern Indiana, and he knew the family would be listening, so he'd always make it a point to get you on a pregame show just so your family could hear you.
Three and two with 2 outs. Votto plays behind Ramirez. He takes off. Sharply hit, but right to Keppinger, who will have to fire it over to Votto, and that ends the inning. A single, a walk, but a caught stealing on a double play. It's 1-0.
Most people don't know exactly what Beechwood aging is.
You mean Budweiser's extra step of lagering their beer over a bed of Beechwood chips, resulting in the unmistakably clean, crisp Budweiser taste?
Are you reading off my board? What board?
Thanks. Have a nice day.
Life comes at you fast, and then it hits you. Is my car insurance any good? With Nationwide Insurance, you get 24/7 claims processing at a savings of up to $500 when you switch. Call 1-877 on your side, and you'll also get a 100% written guarantee on claims repairs at a savings of up to $500 when you switch. Plus, get a free Nationwide on your side review to find out exactly the coverage you need, including discounts you might not even know about. And don't forget about the whole $500 savings when you switch.
Hello, Nationwide.
Call Nationwide Insurance or contact an agent to get your free on your side review and see how much you can save when you switch. Better call for better coverage. 1-877 on your side.
Nationwide is on your side.
There's no fiber in this.
Manager. Fiber One Honey Cluster cereal. That's really good.
Right, and if it tastes good, there's no fiber.
It's actually got about half a day's worth of fiber in it.
So
right on the bottom.
Right on the box. Okay.
Honey, touch of brown sugar, crunchy clusters.
Right. Any twigs?
Twigs now. Delicious, yes.
Right, so where's the fiber?
Maybe it's hiding in the honey clusters.
Rethink fiber with Fiber One.
This is Budweiser's unique 7-step brewing process. It's what separates the Great American Lager from your average beer. It's what allows you to enjoy your 2-step process. Open and drink.
Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from the friendly confines. The Cubs lead 1-0. Ted Lilly faces Ken Griffey Jr. Strike one. The next pitch.
Could this be the year, Len, that Ken Griffey Jr. gets traded either before or at the trading deadline? Ken Griffey Jr. Adam Dunn, two of the biggest chips that the Reds have. And there's a lot of speculation that should they continue to struggle in the first half of the season, they may look to unload their two big high-priced veteran players. A lot of teams out there, especially Adam Dunn, would be extremely interested.
Big swing by Griffey. I don't know the salary of Griffey, but I know it's a lot. And Dunn is, I think, in the $13 or $13.5 million range. But if you get a player in the middle of the year, it's only about $6.5 million. No problem. Called strike three.
Pocket change.
Time now for our AT&T text poll question. The numbers game. Derek Lee off to a great start in the power department. So the question is, how many home runs will he hit? Text A to 97999 if you think 20 to 25. B, to go up the ladder a little bit. C for 36 to 45, or D 46 or more. 46 is career high. Again, text your response to 97999. We'll give you the results Later in the game, the poll is brought to you by the new AT&T. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. Dunn bounces foul, and the former Cub Billy Hatcher.
With Adams Dunn hitting a solo home run in the 8th inning of the ball game last night. I believe that's 34 career home runs here at Wrigley Field. I was asking him, what is it about this ballpark? And he said, I can't really explain it. He says, I just see the ball really well here. Whether it's a day game or a night game, he says, I don't know if it's the batter's eye in center field or just the intimacy of the ballpark, but he said, I always feel like I'm going to do something when I come in here.
And he normally does. His career high in home runs, like Derek Lee, 46. The Cubs normally would really overshift, or with a left-hander on the mound. It's not quite as exaggerated.
Left-handed hitters a little more likely to go to the opposite field against a left-handed pitcher, especially on that breaking ball away.
Lilly coming back on that 3-2 pitch, and Dunn takes the walk. Walk number 2 issued by Ted. He has struck out 4 on the day, and the only hit to this point was from Jeff Keppinger. Broken bat, base hit to left center in the 2nd.
A little miscommunication in that Adam Dunn at bat right there. Ted Lilly shook off Henry Blanco a couple times, actually stepped off the rubber one time to regroup. Henry just wanted to make sure they're on the same page here as they go about attacking Jeff Keppinger.
Inside corner for a strike. The Cubs pitching staff last year went from 14th to 2nd in ERA. Right now they're about middle of the pack at 8th.
I'm just going to say today's the kind of day you can be more aggressive attacking the strike zone because of the conditions. The last 2 days with that wind howling straight out to center, you didn't want to throw too many pitches over the heart of the plate, but today the conditions are considerably different, and Ted Lilly can be more aggressive attacking these Reds hitters.
Keppinger's 2 out of 2, and the Reds have 2 on for the first time. Still very early, but it's kind of fun to look at some of the rankings. Arizona leading the National League offensively in runs and also in ERA. So it's not a surprise that they're 11-4. They have a .298 team earned run average. The Cubs' second place finish last year was the first time they'd finished in the top 2 in the National League in earned run average since 1963.
Okay, fun with numbers. Let me ask you this without looking.
Okay, I won't look.
Which staff leads the American League in earned run average?
Can I look at the standings? You know what? I would have absolutely no idea. How about Oakland?
Well, Oakland is 2nd.
Okay.
The Kansas City Royals leading the American League with an ERA just over 3.02.
I would not have guessed that.
Nobody would have.
They're spying on us again, as you can see.
I thought I hid that camera well enough, but they found it.
3 balls, no strikes. Lilly in his first patch of trouble.
Big brother is watching.
Oh! 3-1 on Encarnacion. The Cubs as a staff have led the majors in strikeouts the last 7 straight years. Now they're 7th. The Reds are 2nd. And the bases are loaded. Ted Lilly could use a strikeout. Let's take a look at our upcoming WGN produced baseball schedule in high definition, sponsored by Comcast. The Pirates come to town tomorrow. We'll have games 1 and 3 right here on WGN Sports. The White Sox against the Rays. They're no longer the Devil Rays. That'll be Saturday at 6 p.m. all on WGN Sports in high definition.
Well, the name may have changed, but the position in the standings is still the same. Tampa Bay in dead last place in that American League East.
Boston, New York, both at 9 and 7. Baltimore and Toronto at 8 and 7. Lefty against lefty, and Joey Votto is going to give the Reds the lead. Dunn scores. Keppinger behind him. Encarnacion also is going to be sent. The relay throw will not be made by Fontenot. Joey Votto, with his first career hit against Ted Lilly after starting 0 for 5, is a big one, and it's 3-1 Reds. So those walks come back to haunt Ted.
I talked about Votto earlier in the ball game. He's been an everyday player everywhere he's ever been. Lefties don't really bother him too much. Adam Dunn telling the runner behind him to take it easy. You're going to score with no throw.
So Votto clears him, and it's now 3-1. Still only 1 out. Red Sox and Yankees will play again tonight. Beckett and Messina. I haven't seen the average time of game over the last 5 years when these two teams meet, but it has to be about 3 hours and 45 minutes. Those American League games, especially when you have 2 high-powered offenses, it can take a long, long time to finish. A lot of walks.
Yeah, the opposing pitcher tries to pick the guys they want to go after in an inning, pitch around others. Of course, with no pitcher in the lineup, you've got 9 hitters up there wailing away.
Fun with numbers. The Angels lead the American League in runs. The Red Sox are 6th. The Yankees are 7th. The Angels and the Blue Jays tied for 1st in the AL. Swing and a miss. Paul Bacco strikes out.
Like a nice breaking ball from Ted Lilly right there. What you call expanding the strike zone. Started that pitch just on the outer cut of the plate, broke it right out of the zone.
Can you believe Prince Fielder does not have a home run? Going into action today, 60 plate appearances. He had 50 home runs last season. Hitting just .224. That'll change at some point. But the big story in baseball today, Miguel Tejada has admitted that he is actually 2 years older than listed in the Astros media guide and every other publication. He went to the general manager, Ed Wade, and asked to correct that misinformation. That goes all the way back to when he signed with the Oakland A's in 1993. He was 19, not 17. The quote in the AP story, "I was a poor kid. I wanted to sign a professional contract. That was the only way to do it. I didn't want or mean to do anything wrong at the time. I was 2 years older than they thought."
At least, let's say at least 2 years older.
We heard a lot of those stories come up about 4 or 5 years ago. Several players had their birth dates corrected in the various media guides. So Tejada's 33, not 31. 3-2 on the pitcher, Volquez. Ted Lilly struggling to get out of this 4th inning. If it means anything, Tejada added that he feels 25.
Well, we all know that's the most important thing, is how do you feel?
How do you feel? He was signed by Juan Marichal. Kukadome comes over. He is in foul territory, and the inning finally comes to an end. Volquez made Lilly work to get him. Votto with a 3-run double, and the Reds have their first lead of the day.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Aquafina has a 7-step purification process that removes the stuff you find in other waters. Here's how. We filter it once. Then we filter it again. Then we purify it. And filter it again. And filter it again. And filter it again. And then purify it again. So all you taste is pure water. Aquafina. Purity guaranteed.
The generation that swore it would never get old didn't. Welcome to the summer of life. And now there's an official hair treatment of the summer of your life. New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Lets you keep a little gray. Works gradually. Just comb in, rinse.
Never trust anybody over 90.
Keep a little gray with New Touch of Gray.
What are you doing? Is that the Grand Slam? No.
Introducing the Build Your Own Grand Slam. Choose any 4 items and make it your slam, starting at $5.99.
Benny, real breakfast, 24/7.
Volquez has a 3-1 lead as he faces Mark DeRosa. Mark turned away from that curveball. Ended up missing the zone a little high. One last thing about the Tejada story. I mentioned Juan Marichal signed him. It says it was clear that Marichal had no part in any sort of deception involving Tejada and his age. And again, that was back in 1993. A strange story coming out of the Astros camp. 2-1 on DeRosa. Johnson and then Blanco for the Cubs. And now Mark asks for time. mind and the 2-2 pitch. Good eye, full count.
That's a tough take right there by Mark DeRosa. We talked about Ron Culpa behind home plate calling some of those low strikes. That pitch was right down the center of the plate, but just too low.
Well, Mark DeRosa could have given his teammates a little scouting report. He was a teammate of Volquez in Texas. He takes the second walk for him today.
We encourage fans to make their signs and bring them out here to Wrigley Field. We'll try to get them on the air whenever we can, but please try to spell all the words correctly. Didn't come here to loose. And see, you know, we appreciate these kids skip school to be here, but they're going to end up mislettering signs in the future because of the school that they missed today. So
isn't it 3 P's and skipped? Well, what did you say earlier? We were talking about the dead brain period, so maybe that happened. Reed Johnson bats with a runner on and nobody out. See if the Cubs can make some things happen here. Johnson handles the bat well. Battery coming up after Johnson, Blanco, and Lilly. Volquez taking his time with a runner on. Here he comes. 1-1.
Then I think I figured out the mystery of the lost Cougars. I think they're looking for Kane County. I really do. They're trying to find their way back to Kane County where the Cougars play. See?
That's right. That would make sense. They missed the mark by about, what, 45, 50 miles. It's enough to worry about dodging pedestrians and other traffic around the ballpark when you leave. You have wild animals. Be careful.
All right, you got your wish.
I just hope we don't have a reprise of the naked gun scene. Outfielder got attacked by a lion or a tiger. Drilled into left, done. Plays it on the bounce. 2 on with nobody out.
Reed Johnson almost hit that ball too well. Looked like it was going to carry all the way out to Adam Dunn in left field, but really started to sink as it got closer to the Reds' big guy out there in left. Just does get down on a hop, a base hit for Reed Johnson. Clearly fielded it on a short hop, no question about it.
Henry batted with the bases loaded his first time. Now 2 on, nobody out. Looked like he wanted to bunt. And he accepted ball 1.
Kind of surprised if Henry did try to bunt in this situation. I think that may have just been a ploy to try to get the Reds a little further out of position defensively and then go ahead and swing away. And certainly a sac bunt would move 2 runners into scoring position, but as we say many times, who are you doing it for? Are you going to move the runners up for Ted Lilly? I doubt it. Yeah, there he goes.
That was a strike and a pretty good throw by Baco. DeRosa just got back.
Always a dangerous situation for that runner at second base. If the runner's up there to sacrifice bunt, you want to get as big a lead as you possibly can. But then you're always susceptible to that pickoff attempt, to catcher throwing behind. It's almost like an automatic pickoff at second base if the batter bunts through the ball or takes the pitch, because you know there's always going to be a middle infielder at second base.
Well, Henry has drawn in the corner men showing bunt. He may have just been doing it until he got his first strike. Volquez has struggled with the strike zone. He's over 80 pitches already. He's showing bunt again. 2-1.
You could see Henry dropping down a sack bunt in this situation if Lou was going to hit for Ted Lilly, but there's nobody warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Slowly working that count into his favor, however. 2-1 right now.
Maybe he wants that slug bunt. Swing at the last second, try to pound it on the dirt, and then use his wheels.
Even the Hank White fan club would chuckle at that one.
Oh, they're laughing about something today. You can be sure about that. 2-1 shows bunt, takes strike 2.
A mobile strike zone today for Ron Kulpa. Looks like a pretty good pitch on the outside corner. Started the game with a huge zone, wide and up and down. Got real small in the second inning, and now you just have to take your chances.
He bunts foul. That was a very strange sequence.
I'm not really sure what that was all about. I wasn't sure why he was bunting initially, and definitely not sure why he's bunting with 2 strikes, but when he fouls off that 2-strike attempt, that'll go down as a strikeout in the book. I'm puzzled. Can't figure that one out.
Lou looks a little puzzled as well. 1 out, and it's Ted Lilly. The strangest part is that he showed bunt on every pitch, but never really looked like he wanted to commit until it was 2-2.
That's why I assumed he was just trying to, as you said, take until he gets a strike, try to get the defense out of position, and then pick a hole and drive it through the infield. But showed bunt on every pitch until eventually strikes out on a foul bunt attempt. Ted Lilly now needs to get that ball down the third baseline if indeed he's going to bunt in this situation.
You are trying to get one down, and that 1 strike pitch, as you said, was borderline, looked like a pretty good pitch, but that's one you have to make some sort of attempt, right? Because you don't want to have to do it with 2 generally.
Absolutely. And rarely do you see the sacrifice bunt stay on with 2 strikes.
Promising start to this inning. Now there's 1 out, and the pitcher at the plate. Lilly's trying to get a bunt down after Blanco failed to do so. There it is. Votto will throw to Friel covering first.
Ted Lilly executes the sacrifice bunt, moving a couple of runners into scoring position. Well, you see Votto creeping in from first base from our Southwest RoboCam. That's why you want to bunt the ball to third base. And Votto will take a look at the lead runner and then decide just to go on to first for the 1 out. So it ends up being a good sacrifice bunt by Ted Lilly. But that's why you want to try to push that ball to the third base side of the field. Force the third baseman to come in and make the play. His only play will be across the infield to first.
A single could tie it. Fontenot at the plate. DeRosa's at third. Johnson at second. I don't know if this makes any sense, but there's kind of a carefree intensity in Mike Fontenot. Tell he just loves being at the ballpark, but he's a tough cookie. Doesn't seem to be bothered by anything.
He's taken some tough hits in his short time in the major leagues. Wasn't it Mike Fontenot that got bowled over at second base by Edgar Renteria? It's in Atlanta a couple years ago. Last year, I can't remember when that happened, but he's taken his share of lumps and gotten right back to his feet.
Fouls back. The thing he did to make this club out of spring training is he improved a lot and showed the Cubs that he can play short if needed. They didn't want to carry him if he was strictly a second baseman. A 2-1 pitch. It was Tardy on a fastball, 2-2.
Fontenot a little tardy that time on a mid-90s fastball, up and out over the plate. The thing that kind of surprises me about Fontenot is the power that he has. I mean, he's not going to be a 30 home run guy ever in his career, but he's going to hit some big home runs. He's got surprising power, especially to right field.
Some action in the Reds pen. Jared Burton. Dusty had to use 5 relievers, including his closer, just to mop up last night. Burton and Todd Coffey were the only 2 who did not pitch. 2-2 to Fontenot. Liner is caught by Votto. Joey Votto's been active at the plate and on defense. Still 3-1 Cincinnati.
Like the ad says, there's hardwood floors throughout.
Nice.
Hey, you want a Bud Light?
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. By splitting the rent, there's more money for Bud Light.
Great.
Ready to see your room?
Yeah.
Hey, roomies, say hi to Brian.
The thing is,
make yourself at home.
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
That chili is not sitting well.
Today, I plan on not freaking out about my wireless bill. I plan on saying whatever when my daughter talks for hours. Yeah, I plan on being totally down with calling Denver in the middle of the afternoon, huh? Hollering at my boys, kicking it with three-way calling. I plan on grabbing my celly and getting my... Dad! Oh, sorry. Okay.
America's most reliable network introduces a plan with truly unlimited calling. Talk as much as you want with anyone in the U.S. for one flat rate. And now buy a text-friendly Envy or music playing chocolate for just $79.99. Verizon Wireless.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes. Thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water Smart.
Mr. Clean now tackles messes 2 ways with the power of Mr. Clean plus the freshness of Febreze. Mr. Clean's right at home with the tough stuff. What gets tracked in, what gets stained on, even baked on. The magical cleaning power wipes dirt out, and the Febreze freshness draws people in. The toughness of Mr. Clean, the freshness of Febreze. In pourable liquid and spray, they've teamed up to tackle tough cleaning.
On the first pitch of the 5th, Norris Hopper hit a lazy fly ball to right. 4 out, number 1 in between innings. We would assume Mike Quaddy, the Cubs' third base coach, talking with the manager Lou Piniella and first base coach Matt Sinatro about that failed bunt attempt by Henry Blanco.
Well, they look every bit as puzzled as we were.
Liners caught by Ramirez. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, a lot of times the third base coach will immediately go to the first base coach. Matt Sinatro watches Mike Quaddy very carefully down there at third base, and sometimes you wonder, did I put the right sign on? And you check with your first base coach, what did you see? And I guess we're just speculating on that conversation that took place over in the third base dugout, but it was apparent that somebody was in air on that that sac bunt attempt by Henry Blanco.
And now Ken Griffey Jr. doing what Norris Hopper did in the 3rd inning. Taking his time after 2 quick outs. Takes that first one for a strike.
That's what Ted Lilly should do absolutely every time. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That 3rd hitter is required by law to take at least 1 pitch.
Chicago's finest are here in the building, and they were ready if Griffey had swung. He swings at the 2nd pitch, and it scoots under the glove of Ryan Theriot. It'll be a base hit for Griffey, although I would bet Ryan would tell you that's a play he should have made. He got there, but did not get his glove down in time.
Once again from our Southwest RoboCam, that ball off the bat of a left-handed hitter has a little bit of side English. Made Theriot go a couple of extra steps and just couldn't knock that one down.
Well, he brings up Adam Dunn. All kinds of power. As you said last night, the 3 things he does the most: he strikes out, which he did in the 2nd. He walks, which he did in the 4th, and the Cubs are trying to avoid the other thing he does well, and that is hit home runs.
It just amazed me when I talked to him about this ballpark, and he talked about the intimate feel, how the bleachers seem so close to home plate. And I thought in the back of my head, boy, the ballpark you play in 81 times a year is about as intimate as they get. Quite the bandbox that they play in there in Cincinnati. Of course, he can make big ballparks look intimate.
At one time, he went over 1,000 plate appearances between sacrifice flies.
Now that's shocking. He's a fly ball hitter. You figure somewhere along the line he would have come up with a runner at 3rd base and flied out to the deep outfield.
He went almost 2 full years between sac flies. I guess the answer would be most of his deep fly balls just went over the fence. But yeah, that is a bizarre one. Almost as good as your Frank Thomas note about no sac bunts.
Over 9,800 plate appearances in his career, sneaking up on Harmon Killebrew, who had the most plate appearances without ever putting down a sac bunt. 21 years in the big leagues for the killer, Harmon Killebrew. No sacrifice bunts.
Griffey was not running on that 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. I was assuming that he would just continue on, but he shuffled off first base and stopped as Dunn swung at that pitch.
Yeah, that's one of those little things. You know, it didn't amount to anything in that particular pitch. It should have done a hit a ball in the gap right there, and Junior doesn't score and should have. Those are the kind of things that cause rifts between teammates. When you cost me an RBI because you didn't know how many outs there were or what the count was, over the course of a long season, if that happens a few times, that can cause a lot of friction.
He did run that time.
He heard you talking about it.
He goes again on the next 3-2. Way up in the air for Reed Johnson. He's flying in with the wind helping him. Reds lead this one 3-1.
There's a good move in every box of Aleve.
Hi, my name is Dave LaRiviere, and I love Aleve. If I didn't have the Aleve that relieved the back pain down here, there's no way I could move this stuff around. I look at some of the stuff in this place. Without my Aleve, I'm not moving at all.
Aleve. Good moves start here.
remind me of another place and time.
Presenting Blue from American Express. The card with no annual fee and an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months with a low APR after. Call 1-877-557-AMEX or visit us online to get yours. You can pay over time, which makes this card remarkably flexible. It has a free rewards program with so many choices, it'll make your head spin. Plus, it has a fraud detection system which gives you extra security when you shop. All this with an introductory rate of 0% for up to 15 months and a low APR after. Call 1-877-557-AMEX or visit us online to apply. Blue from American Express.
Funniest Pets and People, today at 6 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Let's check out today's Honda Accord game summary. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive the all-new 268 horsepower Accord V6. A big blow, Joey Votto 3-run double. That was in the 4th inning off Ted Lilly. Reed Johnson with a couple of hits for the Cubs. Mark DeRosa's walked twice. Ramirez has also reached safely 2 times. Volquez has thrown a lot of pitches through 4. He works the 5th. He has to get through this inning to qualify for the win.
He went 5 1/3 in his first start of the season against the Phillies, and then 5 innings last time out against the Pirates. Game against the Pirates was 3 innings of shutout, or rather 3 hits and shutout baseball through 5 innings.
Got to figure this is his last inning with the high pitch count. Already a season high. He threw 95 his first time out, 75 pitches in his last start. He had a rain delay and he did not come back.
And just as we talk about it, Jared Burton gets up once again in that Reds bullpen and starts throwing again.
On Friday at Pittsburgh, 5 scoreless innings. And he left when it was 0-0. They had an hour and 2-minute rain delay. And Dusty decided to go into his bullpen. The Pirates won that night 1-0. Ontario swings and misses. That's a strikeout. Here's another look at our AT&T text poll question. Last chance to predict Derek Lee's 2008 home run total to 97999.
That would be my guess. 97,999.
That would set a record.
Yes, indeed.
A tough day for Derek at the plate. He has struck out twice, once looking, the other time swinging. And on that play in the 3rd inning, Ryan Theriot was caught stealing. Five-game hitting streak for Derek. Two and 1. He didn't like it. He said, Ron, that is not a strike.
Man. So if a hitter with an eye like Derek Lee works himself into a 2-0 count and gets that called on him.
Derek's not happy, but it wasn't that pitch. It was the one before it. Now he has to recover with a 2-2 count. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but one big pitch can completely swing in a bat.
Especially the 1-1 count. That's the one that really swings in at bat. If it goes to 1 and 2, obviously the hitter is in deep trouble. The pitcher's in command, can really expand the zone, go to a lot of different areas. If it goes to 2 and 1, now the hitter is in command.
We'll see what Volquez has up his sleeve on a 3-2 pitch. Good rip by Lee. The Cubs have had opportunities. They've stranded 6 over the last 3 innings. Rested with some tea on this cool afternoon. Ground ball to second. Gobbled up by Ryan Friel. Close play. Lee was hustling all the way, but they got him. Derek is not a guy who normally snaps, but he does not look very happy right now. There's 2-0 on him. Ended up battling a 3-2 pitch.
You know, and I think a hitter feels differently about it. If you feel like you're locked in, you're seeing the ball well at the plate, you're laying off bad pitches and driving the strikes, and you get a couple of bad pitches called on you in a game, it does affect you more so than if you're struggling and you're not even sure where your own strike zone is. You almost accept that as part of the struggles that you're going through, but when you're locked in like D. Lee, he knows what's a strike and what's not a strike.
Derek Lee bobblehead day coming up tomorrow here at Wrigley Field. A 1-strike pitch is outside on Ramirez. 1-1.
It's a good thing it's tomorrow, because if it was today, the bobblehead would just go back and forth side to side. No, that's not a strike.
The other point this kind of brings up is, especially for guys like Derek, how precious every plate appearance is. You don't give away anything, especially when you're down 3-1 in the 5th inning. There's nothing more frustrating than feeling like you're doing everything you can to put yourself in the best spot. And you need the umpire to kind of work along with you sometimes. Two and 2 on Ramirez. The pitch. Foul. Call made by Rob Drake at third.
When you saw Reed Johnson and Derek Lee over there on that Cubs dugout bench, it appeared they were talking about Volquez's fastball. Reed Johnson signaled with his hand to indicate a cutter, and then he signaled with his hand to indicate a sinker. Cubs still trying to develop a book on this young right-hander, figure out what it is he's doing effectively out there on the mound and how they can combat it.
Swing and the miss. 7 Ks for the young right-hander. He does qualify for the win now, but a long way to go. 3-1.
In the tradition of great police dramas comes a show that's not even close to any of those shows.
Slipped and poop.
It's a crime
Never actually kicked a block home.
that they're cops. Reno 911.
Friday night at 1 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Justice room, wall-to-wall in teal.
Exactly. And, you know, if you got a little extra carpet lying around, there might be a little something extra for you. Honey.
I'll see what I have.
Hey, you're home early. What do you think?
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Very easy, honey.
When my doctor told me I had to lower my cholesterol, I was shocked. I worried about the foods I'd have to eat. But you do what you have to.
My wife insists I eat whole grain oats to help lower my cholesterol. I made the commitment for her.
I was told eating certain foods can help lower my cholesterol. I guess it's a sacrifice I have to make.
Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
No one said it would be easy.
Be happy, be healthy.
Last year, Expedia booked over 25 million trips worldwide. More trips than any other travel site. That gives you the power to get the best price. We guarantee it on each and every trip, including the one trip that really matters. Yours.
Go with confidence. Expedia.com.
Everybody bundled up. It's 3-1 Cincinnati. Jeff Keppinger leads off the 6th inning for the Reds. Mike Fontenot over to his left. And while we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
He's headed. That's right in Votto's happy zone. Lilly just bends over and plays with the dirt in front of the pitcher's mound. Very short, quick, abbreviated swing generates a lot of power.
So it's now 5-1. It's been all Votto. Cleared the bases with a double in the 4th. Pops it foul out of play. Scott Hatteberg is in Volquez's spot. So Edinson Volquez will go the minimum to try to get a win today. He went 5. So Votto with another career day against the Chicago Cubs. Twice he has knocked in 5. Against the Cubs. Johnson and DeRosa converging. The center fielder calling off the left fielder. So if the Cubs are going to come back today, it'll be against the Reds bullpen. Your thoughts on Volquez?
Well, it's pretty apparent why the Reds are so excited about him. He has a real live arm. He's a little inconsistent with his command, as the 4 walks in the ball game today would testify to, but you can see why they like him. I guess the next thing in the continuing progress of Edinson Volquez is to get him in the strike zone a little more regularly, cut down on those base on balls, and ideally get him deeper into ball games. As the 3rd straight start, he was unable to pitch past the 6th inning.
I was writing Hatteberg in, and Volquez ends up taking the at-bat, so never mind. 1-2. So no Hatteberg.
Well, and the Reds bullpen's still busy, so this may be another situation like Lou had with Carlos Zambrano last night. He let Carlos take the at-bat, even though he was going to go to the bullpen, and Kevin Hart, just to save that extra bench player in the event you need him later in the ball game.
2-2 offering. Big hack. The next one from Lilly, a big swing and a miss to end the inning. We'll see if Volquez will head back out there. The Reds now lead 5-1 after the Votto homer.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer.
Hey! No.
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. HD TVs. Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Bayer is helping to make life with diabetes simpler.
You know, testing my blood sugar is such a hassle.
Mom, why not make your life easier? Try the Breeze 2 meter. It's the one I use because it has 10 tests in one disc, so you don't have to struggle with all those little strips. And I never have to code.
That sounds a lot easier.
For your free Breeze 2 meter from Bayer, call 1-800-228-1066 or visit breezemeter.com. The Breeze 2 meter. It's simple because it has a 10-test disc and there's no coating. Now's the time to switch. Call 1-800-228-1066 or visit breezemeter.com today. You'll also receive the booklet, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People with Diabetes by Stephen Covey. It's filled with simple tips and information on how you can better manage your diabetes.
You are so smart.
Well, I get it from my mother.
Of course you do.
How can you make your life with diabetes less complicated? Simply Bayer.
Nash Bridges, weekdays at 10 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Time to see how you voted on today's AT&T text poll question. We asked you to predict how many home runs Derek Lee will hit in 2008. So generally people think in the 36 to 45 range. He had 22 last year. See what's new at the new AT&T. Visit att.com for details. I would say I would probably have voted C as well. Well, D is not a bad choice. Jared Burton in for Volquez. 1-0 on Fukudome. Make it 1-1. A lot of #1 Cubs jerseys being worn. Cub fans all over the ballpark. Burton gave up 3 hits and 2 runs in the opener. That was in 2/3 of an inning. Milwaukee scored 3 in the 8th to tie the Cardinals. They're now in the bottom of the 9th. Guillermo Mota and Rick Ankiel going at it. We'll keep you posted. Phillies beat Houston 10-2. Miguel Tejada did hit a home run today, by the way. Friel throws to first. Fukudome's out. This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can log on to watch every out-of-market Cubs game live online. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Broken bat floater out into right and a base hit. I've counted 3 broken bat base hits in this ballgame. DeRosa still has part of the bat. He's standing at first base. That's how far the barrel of that bat went. The handle.
Ends up with an extra long tent peg right there. Carries it all the way to first base. Now what do you do with it? Floater in front of Junior out there in right field. A perfect day so far for Mark DeRosa. A couple of walks and now a broken bat base hit to right.
So DeRosa's gotten on all 3 times. Johnson's trying to do the same. He has already picked up 2 singles. Getting near the bottom of the order. And the Cubs have some action. Michael Wirtz was throwing earlier. Right now it's John Lieber. With Lester Strode watching from behind, the Cubs bullpen coach.
Burton very similar to the Cubs' Kevin Hart in that he features a real good cut fastball in the low to mid 90s, 92, 93 miles an hour. A very flat sliding action away from the right-handed hitter. Also has a real good changeup and a slider. Throws a lot of those cutters.
Moved his hands 2-2. Happy 21st to Neil Marcellus, son of Gary, who works here at the ballpark. Happy 31st to Steve Johnson from Normal, Illinois. Got a nice note from Ken Jones, who lives on the north side. A fly ball to deep left. Adam Dunn's back on the warning track. Off the wall. Second and third with one out. A 3-for-3 day for Reed Johnson.
Oh, he documented Reed Johnson choking up about an inch on that 34-inch long bat, but still generates some power when he gets that bat head on it. Very quick swing on an inside pitch. Drove that ball off the base of the wall out there in left field.
Well, I don't think Henry's going to bunt here unless you put on the squeeze. And the Reds will give up a run, leading by 4. So Henry's just trying to make some contact here. At least get one in. Darrell Ward on deck for Lily.
A ground ball anywhere but back to the pitcher should play to run, and medium depth or deeper fly ball would also play to run in this situation. Of course, a gapper would score them both. Put Henry in scoring position for Darrell Ward, who's made his way out into the on-deck circle, and would hit for Ted Lilly.
Eric Patterson getting ready to hit just in case. There's that ground ball to third. It is fair, and Encarnacion's throw is wide. Henry's safe. 5-2. So DeRosa in. Johnson had to hold up. It'll be an RBI single for Henry Blanco.
Again, Encarnacion just was out of rhythm right there as he fielded that ball. Had to take a couple of extra steps. His throw is way wide of the bag at first for Votto. And now we will see Darrell Ward hit for Ted Lilly.
He represents the tying run. Darrell looking for his first hit of 2008. He is 0 for 9 with 3 walks. Johnson the runner at second. Blanco's at first. 3 consecutive hits against Jared Burton. Right down the middle on a heater. Kick and the 0-1 is a little bit away. The Cubs now with 7 hits. The Reds have 6. They've only needed 2 big ones. Joey Votto. Giovanni Soto on the bench and available today. Long look by Burton. Here he comes on a 1-1. Sinker baller David Weathers just starting to play catch. Both managers managing against their former teams. Dusty against the Cubs. Lou against the Reds. They played against one another, Bob, in 3 different World Series. When Dusty was a Dodger and Lou was a Yankee. They go back a long way. 2-2 to Ward, golfed into center. But Norris Hopper with a beat on it makes a catch. Johnson retreats. Fontenot will hit with 2 outs. Mike has grounded out 3 times. The Cubs got their first run in the second. And the latest coming on an infield RBI hit by Henry Blanco.
Reed Johnson at second base, Henry Blanco over at first, trying to work for a maximum secondary lead. May seem like an insignificant thing, but if Fontenot would happen to hit a ground ball into a position where the only play the fielder had was to go to second base, Henry gets a good secondary lead, beats that force play, keeps the inning alive.
Backhanded play by Keppinger, close play at second, but Creel was able to find the bag right before the sliding Blanco got there. Cubs shave 1 off the deficit. It's now 5-2 as we go to the 7th.
It's sports like you've never seen it. Go extreme with Whacked Out Sports. Sunday at 5 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Dude.
Because no lawnmower should be this hard to start, Black & Decker created the powerful 24-volt cordless mower. It starts easily, adjusts quickly, cuts up to 1/3 of an acre on a single charge, and even stores easily. The 24-volt cordless mower from Black & Decker.
The generation that swore it would never get old didn't. Welcome to the summer of life. And now there's an official hair treatment of the summer of your life. New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Lets you keep a little gray. Works gradually. Just comb in, rinse.
Never trust anybody over 90.
Keep a little gray with New Touch of Gray.
Time for today's Bud Light Fan Cam. Some new REM.
Till the day is done. Until the day is done.
Until the Day is Done. A track from REM's new release, Accelerate. Today's Bud Light Fan Cam. Bud Light keeps it coming. I've heard great things about that new record. Definitely will check it out. As John Lieber takes over in the 7th. Ted Lilly did get through 6, but he still does not have a quality start. 4 outings. He was better today, but still gave up 5 runs. So he has been charged with 5 earned runs in each of his last 3 outings. Gave up 4 in his first start. Sliced out of play by Hopper, who's leading off for Cincinnati.
How about John Lieber? He's appeared in 3 ball games and has a decision in all 3 appearances, 2 victories and a loss.
That's because he's a starter, even though he's in the bullpen.
John Lieber may have single-handedly saved the Cubs pitching staff on that last road trip with those extra inning ball games and a couple of short starts. Lieber was able to come in and eat up some big innings, give his team a chance to get back in the ball game.
Skip to the shortstop and dropped by Theriot, and that costs him. First error of the year for Ryan.
Looked like it just hit him in the heel of the glove. Catch that ball in the pocket or up near the fingers, and it just naturally is drawn into the pocket of the glove. You hit it up there near the heel of the glove, there's no telling where that ball's going to bounce. Morris Hopper with too much speed. By the time the Riot recovers, he's already over first base.
Going into today, he had handled 55 total chances without an error. Friel bunts. Back to the pitcher Lieber, but nobody's at first base. And that ends up being an infield hit.
Well, never a good idea when you assume anything, but see that ball bunted back toward the mound. I believe Mike Fontenot thought Derek Lee was going to get back to the bag at first, so Fontenot was taking a line to back the play up, and he realized D. Lee was not going to be able to get back to the base, and by then it was too late to recover.
And Lieber in some trouble. An error and an infield single. So the Reds have not hit the ball out of the infield, but they are in business with Griffey and Dunn coming up. A Griffey fan in the ballpark. Junior, a future Hall of Famer, no question about it. Nearing 600 career home runs. 6th on the all-time list. He's 14 away from Sammy Sosa to get into the top 5. Low and inside, and it's 2-2. In his career, Lieber has been much more effective against right-handed hitters than lefties. He needs a big out. 3-2. In the background is the lead man at second base. Friel is at first. And they are running. And a high deep drive sending Reed Johnson back to the warning track, and it will go for a home run. That's his first career home run off Lieber. Ryan Friel ended up about a foot behind Norris Hopper. He almost passed him. Griffey with his second home run of the series, number 596 in his illustrious career.
We talked about the wind blowing in, and normally on a day like this, if you get to a full count, just throw the ball up over the heart of the plate, let him hit it into the teeth of the wind. Of course, that doesn't apply to a home run hitter like Ken Griffey Jr. Just drives this ball right through the teeth of the wind to straightaway center field for a 3-run bomb.
Adam Dunn, a towering blast to center. And it's caught by Johnson.
Well, the book on Ken Griffey Jr. at this stage of his career is try to pitch him in and up around the hands. Jam him. Don't let him extend his arms. That pitch was out over the plate. Great extension through the ball. Tremendous carry into the wind.
He has just homered off the 380th pitcher of his career. 379 was Ryan Dempster on Tuesday. Apparently, we jump-started Prince Fielder's career or season. He just hit his first home run to give the Brewers a 2-run lead in the 10th in St. Louis. Off the end of the bat, and it's Fukudome in right center, calling off Johnson. 2 outs. Again, Tom Arnold handling our 7th inning stretch duties today.
I'll tell you one thing, Len, when Reed Johnson's playing center field, if you're one of the corner outfielders and you want to take a fly ball, you better let him know about it, because Reed Johnson assumes that everything hit in the air is his. He was streaking over from center field on, well, what was a fairly routine ball to Fukudome in right field, but Johnson was over there in time. If needed, he could have made the play.
Well, that fits the theme that we often kind of dance around, and that is never assume anything.
Well, it's a very easy and natural thing to do at this level. I mean, how many times do you see a guy drop a routine fly ball in the outfield? I mean, it happens. Rarely, but it does happen. But Reed Johnson assumes that his corner outfielders are going to have problems with everything. He's going to get over there and help them any way he can.
Line shot toward the alley in left center for Encarnacion. That's a double. Time now to have a ball with our friends from the Illinois Lottery. Actor and comedian Tom Arnold throwing out our ceremonial first pitch.
Just a bit high.
Tom. Well, we'll get the scoop coming up.
I'm guessing frayed labrum.
That's deep to left, but it's going to stay in the yard. Bottle with a big day, but he is retired. Here comes Tom Arnold with our 7th inning stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out of the Ball Game. Please welcome the star of the final season, Tom Arnold.
All right, Cub fans, we need you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. So it's root for the Cubs. Yes! They don't win, it's a shame. Oh, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Come on, Cubs, help them get some runs. Let's go. This isn't over.
The hotter the hot, the colder the cold, the greater the demand, the more you need Duralast. Batteries built to exceed the need. Built to last. Only at AutoZone.
Be careful, Jimmy.
I'm fine, Mom.
I'm bored.
now. Good, because we're going to need 2 rooms with king-sized beds and a spa treatment for my wife.
We test our network every day.
Spa treatment, honey.
So you get America's most reliable network, Verizon Wireless. And now buy a text-friendly Envy or music-playing chocolate for just $79.99.
Just think about it. Get
it. 8-2 Cincinnati. Tom Arnold in the booth with us. Great job getting this crowd going again with our 7th inning stretch as Ryan Theriot will ground out on the first pitch.
You know, it's beautiful here until the Cubs are behind, and then it gets really cold. Have you noticed that? The temperature is, you know, and I kind of hope that Griffey hits his 600th today. I mean, if we're going to, you know, if something exciting should happen.
4 more, you think?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd rather we won. Here we go. This guy is due, and he's angry.
Yeah, the last at bat did not turn out very well for Derek, and a pitch that he thought was ball 3, and it was called a strike.
It was low. I was sitting down there. The guy's like, you know, so what is he, 6'10", 6'12"? I don't know.
So you've got a bunch of movies coming up, and tell us about the final season, which I think came out last fall, right?
Baseball Connection, it just came out on DVD. It's a true story about a small town in Norway, Iowa, where Mike Fontenot and about 20 other pros came from. Oh! Okay. All right, I'm not different. Anyway, it's a town of 500 people that won 19 state baseball championships in Iowa. I remember them growing up, and then they wanted to consolidate the school and eliminate the school. And they fired the head coach, Jim Van Scoy, who's played by Powers Booth. Brought in, and they thought, well, if they don't win this next thing, it's not going to be such a big deal to the town. If they don't win 20, so they brought in the girls volleyball coach from the Decorah College, played by Sean Astin, for the 20th season. It's a true story. And see what happened. But it was nice having Boddicker, his kid, was in the movie, so we put him in the movie. His kid did a good job, but he came visit one day, and we kept him for the whole film. And Boddicker's from there, so you know it was fun. We had a good time.
That's very cool. And you're from Iowa?
Yeah, I'm from Iowa, so it was nice. I played a guy that moved to Chicago, and we had to get out of there and go to the big city. And
swing and the miss on the 3-2. So how many times did you come here from Iowa?
Well, I'll tell you what, every day, you know, I watched every game from Jack Brickhouse on to Harry, because that's all. We only had 4 channels. You know, we got the WGN, we had channel whatever 2 or 3. So you know, I made it a few times. But coming, the mysticism of this place from your grandpa and your dad, and you know, I mean, it's. Okay, it can't compare. I mean, you know, then you get here, but you dream about it. You know, when you're from a small town in Iowa, Ottumwa, but then to come here and, you know, have this honor, you know.
Swing and the miss, a great thing, and it's a good lead into our Big Cubs Forever special coming up.
Oh,
Sunday
can't wait
night.
for that, man. I'm T-bowing that.
60 years of Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports, 6 o'clock Central Time.
That's gonna be great.
And a swing and the miss, a very quick 7th. Tom, we had higher hopes offensively, but hey, it's great to see
Final
you.
season's a heck of a movie. Major League Baseball supported it, and I appreciate a good family fulfilled.
We'll go out and check it out. Thanks,
Thank you,
Tom.
buddy. Thank you. Thanks, dude.
Good to see you.
Greedy and the Sox are taking it to Tampa Bay against Carl Crawford and the Rays. Saturday at 7 Eastern on the Superstation. It's great to be home. Sister, Sister. Today at 5 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Dude.
Last year, Expedia booked over 25 million trips worldwide. More trips than any other travel site. That gives you the power to get the best price. We guarantee it on each and every trip, including the one trip that really matters. Yours.
Go with confidence. Expedia.com.
I'm at that place where say goodbye to being a bachelor means time to buy our first house. You know, we're combining things like cars and bank accounts and furniture and
Everything but your stinky futon.
but the only thing missing is more money. Believe me, I'm there.
Here's a little housewarming gift. State Farm can save you nearly $600 just by insuring your car and home together. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Need a futon?
I'm good.
A reminder, Sunday night, Cubs Forever, brought to you by National City, will air right here on WGN, 6 to 8 Central Time. Also, Cubs Forever, the book, available at triumphbooks.com and also in Chicago area bookstores. It's Bob Howery, and he coaxes a swing and a miss from Paul Bacco as we get into the 8th, with the Reds leading 8-2. Bats have brought the thump today. Votto with 5 knocked in. Griffey just hit a big 3-run homer. And the Cubs bats, which were so hot last night with a wind blowing out, have cooled off. That's baseball, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, sometimes you try to explain it. You try to find reasons why a team hits or doesn't hit, or fields or doesn't field, or pitches and doesn't pitch. But some days you just have to scratch your head and say it wasn't our day. We still got some outs left in this ball game. The team in the dugout over there is full of major league ball players too, and they're trying to do their job to the best of their ability, and some days they're just a little bit better than you are.
And Dusty will probably go with Weathers in the 8th and Cordero in the 9th, even if it's not a safe spot. They're trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. If they had won 9 in a row, he might give his closer a day off, but I would guess Cordero will be out there at some point. Or at least will get ready. Right field corner for Bacco, so he keeps his hitting streak alive. A new career high. It's now 9. And he's going to make the turn and try for a triple. And the ball got out of Ramirez's glove on the tag. So it is a triple for Bacco. That's his second 3-base hit of the year.
It's about the 3rd or 4th time already in the early going this season we've seen a base runner kick the ball out of a defender's glove. I was shocked to see Bacco round the bag at second and keep on chugging. Mike Fontenot's throw to third base is right on the money. Ramirez comes up, makes the catch, and tried to sweep tag all in one motion. The ball came out of his glove.
Like he got it with his forearm or elbow. I don't think there was any sort of intentional swipe. There will be an error on Ramirez, so it's not a triple, it's a double and an error. The Cubs have committed 2 miscues on defense. One of the 3 runs Lieber gave up in the 7th was unearned. The infield is in against pinch hitter Corey Patterson. And this could be trouble. Ontario's going to get back and make the catch.
I'm surprised to see an error called on this play. That's a tough error. The base runner comes in there. You see him come down hard with that left arm. Just strips the ball right out of Ramirez's glove. a lot of tough errors in this game. If the throw would have happened to hit Baco in the back there, Mike Fontenot gets hung with an error. I thought that should have been a triple all the way.
The infield is still in against Norris Hopper. He hits it right back to Howard. He pops out of his mitt, but he has time. And there are now 2 outs. Now it's up to Ryan Friel for the Reds. Everybody back with 2 outs. Friel getting his batting gloves comfortable. Ted Lilly went 6. He gave up 5. John Lieber charged with 3 runs. 2 were earned. For the Reds, Volquez 5 innings, 1 run. Jared Burton the last couple of innings, 1 run allowed. Ryan Friel's from Jacksonville, Florida. Began his major league career with Toronto. And a base hit to knock in a run. It's now 9-2. Lou Pinella's heading out, and he's going to go with Sean Marshall against Ken Griffey Jr. A chance for Marshall against one of the tougher left-handed hitters in the game today. It's 9-2 Cincinnati, and we'll be back.
Deciding on a color? Let's start with some idea cards. That'll get you to the right one.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right. Start here.
You know, it's not all fun and games when you're a mascot. Every year I find myself where the season always ends meets the bills never stop. You know that place where you realize even a squirrel can't live off peanuts? Well, maybe you don't, but believe me, I'm there.
Here's a way to score on savings.
Nice.
Switch your car insurance to State Farm. You'll save big, plus get a payment plan that fits your budget. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You know I wear this everywhere.
There's no fiber in this.
Manager. Fiber One Honey Cluster cereal, that's really good.
Right, and if it tastes good, there's no fiber.
Actually got about half a day's worth of fiber in it.
So
right on the box.
Right on the box.
Okay. Honey, touch of brown sugar, crunchy clusters.
Right, any twigs?
Twigs, no. Delicious, yes.
Right, so where's the fiber?
Maybe it's hiding in the honey clusters.
Rethink Fiber with Fiber One.
Time to check out today's Nissan drive of the game. It came back in the 6th inning off the bat of Joey Votto, a 2-run home run to right center field. He had a 3-run double in the 4th inning, that 2-run homer in the 6th. Joey Votto with today's Nissan drive of the game.
And the guy at the plate also has pitched in. Griffey with a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. Sean Marshall working here, and Lou going with a matchup, I think more than anything else, just to give Sean Marshall an opportunity against Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey hits a ground ball as Priel jumped over it. Fontenot will throw to first for the out. The Reds add 1. It's 9-2. The Cubs have 6 outs to work with offensively.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes. Thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water Smart.
Because no yard tool should be this hard to start, Black & Decker created the powerful 18-volt yard care system. Our trimmer starts easily and cuts more than any other cordless string trimmer. And our hedge trimmer has the largest cut capacity. 1 interchangeable battery, over 20 intelligent tools. The 18-volt yard care system from Black & Decker.
I'll call you then. Bye.
Devin?
Cindy, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'll say. You've got the whole Verizon Wireless network. Mr. Fear of Commitment. That's weird.
Well, they came with my pay-as-you-go plan, so I only pay for them when I use them.
So you haven't changed at all?
Nope.
Verizon Wireless pay-as-you-go. Forget long-term contracts. Just pay on the days you use your phone. That's reliability on demand at select retailers and Verizon Wireless.
Make every second count. 24. Saturday nights at 12:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. It's too funny. Funniest Pets and People today at 6 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
A sunny, cool, and breezy Thursday afternoon in Chicago. The Cubs went into this one looking for a sweep, but they're down 7. With just 2 innings left offensively. Corey Patterson stays in and plays center. Hopper goes over to right. Griffey's out. And David Weathers is pitching, which would lead you to believe Dusty would like to see Weathers pitch the last 2.
The Cubs would be the wild card team from the National League. Of course, we've got a long ways to go. I'm not sure what the magic number is right now, but
somewhere in the 150s probably. A 1 bouncer is backhanded neatly by Friel. He looked it in, almost cost him as Fukudome was hustling. While we have a chance, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Right along with the Reno Sheriff's Department with their unique style of law enforcement. It's the hit comedy Reno 911. Friday night at 1 Eastern on the Superstation.
After the Pirates come in tomorrow for the weekend, it'll be a very brief 2-game series against the Mets next Monday and Tuesday, and the Cubs will not face Johan Santana in that series. John Maine and Nelson Figueroa, a couple of righties, will pitch instead as DeRosa gets hit. So he's been on all 4 times. 2 walks, a hit, and now he is hit.
looked like it got him on the left arm, perhaps the left rib cage if it snuck in there. That's one that makes you wonder. David Weathers has real good command. Keeps the ball down, tries to get ground balls with that sinker ball, an occasional slider, and when you see one get that far away from him, it kind of makes you scratch your head and wonder why.
Well, DeRosa hit over 500 against the Reds last year.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
And 3 for 7 with a home run and 5 RBIs in the first 2 games of this series. Really, outside of the 6 and 7 hitters, there hasn't been much at all for the Cubs. DeRosa on 4 times. Johnson has reached all 3 times on hits. Only 3 other hits in the order, all singles. Terrio, Ramirez, and Blanco. And the first run scored on a bases loaded walk to Ted Lilly in the 2nd inning.
Those timely hits that the Cubs have been coming up with the last couple of ball games against the Reds just haven't been there today. Certainly some of the credit has to go to the Reds pitching staff. Edinson Volquez pretty much came as advertised, a little erratic with his command, but real good stuff. I asked Dick Pohl before the ball game, the pitching coach for the Reds, well, what makes this kid so special? He and Johnny Cueto, the other youngster for the Reds, and he said that when they get in a count where they have to throw a fastball, they can still get guys out. Speaks to the velocity and movement that they have on their heaters.
Johnson's 4 out of 4. What a day he's had. Unfortunately, it might not come in a win. 3 singles and a double for Reed Johnson.
Well, his other 3 base hits in this ball game were hit harder than this one, but finds grass out in shallow left center. A good day at the dish for Reed Johnson.
Foul tip strike. Right back here tomorrow afternoon. The Pirates are in. Ian Snell, a right-hander, against left-hander Rich Hill, who's still looking for his first win. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock with the Hyundai leadoff man. The middle game of the series will feature Tom Gorzolani, a lefty, against right-hander Jason Marquis. And then on Sunday, the finale here on WGN Sports, Zach Duke and Ryan Dempster. So we will not see a Carlos Zambrano, Johan Santana matchup. Carlos will pitch in that series, but no Santana. We might have to wait until the final week of the season. To right for Hopper. Big night for Z last night.
Big night on the mound, big night at the plate. 3 hits. And Lou was joking about it. Apparently he's been kidding Carlos, telling him he's just a batting practice hitter. Can't really do it when it counts. Big Z showed him last night.
Eric Patterson pinch hitting. His older brother's out in center. Adam Dunn in left. And the Cubs leave 2 on base. We'll go to the 9th. It's been the Reds' afternoon today. They lead 9-2.
We live the stories.
I went out there to try to win every game I pitched.
The moments.
It's a no-hitter! It's a no-hitter for Kenny Holtzman!
And the memories of 60 years of Cubs baseball on WGN. Cubs Forever. Celebrating 60 years. Sunday at 7 Eastern on the Superstation.
And that's what it's like to be a spy.
Hey, kids.
Hi.
I'm not a spy or anything. My wife and I just own the Dairy Queen up the road, and I thought I'd make you all blizzards today.
Yeah!
He's making blizzards!
It's a tough act to follow. The new Tin Roof Brownie Blizzard. Chocolatey covered peanuts and chewy brownie pieces. And
sure to try one of our Blizzard cakes.
Mr. Clean now tackles messes two ways with the power of Mr. Clean plus the freshness of Febreze. Mr. Clean's right at home with the tough stuff. What gets tracked in, what gets stained on, even baked on. The magical cleaning power wipes dirt out, and the Febreze freshness draws people in. The toughness of Mr. Clean, the freshness of Febreze. In pourable liquid and spray, they've teamed up to tackle tough cleaning.
When you feel good inside,
you can see Ramirez over in the hole between third and short, but Michael Wirtz figures the best chance to get it out is if I make the play myself. Missed it on the first attempt, but grabbed it the second time and threw on to first for the out.
No extra throwing or anything special during this rough patch. Michael just said the key here is to get right back out there as soon as possible, and he gets a chance today. He says you just have to stay aggressive. One and one on Keppinger.
Corey Patterson and Eric Patterson, the two brothers on the respective teams, each pinch hit in the 8th inning of this ball game. If that's ever happened.
That's a good question. We'll probably get the answer at some point down the road. DeRosa out and left with the shades on. Alfonso Soriano out for the next couple of weeks with a right calf strain. Cubs were able to win Tuesday night after he got hurt, ending the top of the first. They won last night, but they trail big today. Pitch, a rising, I think that was a fastball. And Johnson makes the catch as he just called off Fontenot at the last second. Here's today's player with too much good stuff, brought to you by AM PM. Joey Votto's had a couple of career days against the Chicago Cubs late last year and again today. 5 RBIs for Votto. Supplied all their offense in the first 6 innings. 3-run double and a 2-run homer. Joey Votto, too much good stuff. Thank you, AM PM.
Good straight changeup from Michael Wirtz. That's been a good pitch for him in this outing today. We've seen him throw it 3 or 4 times already. Got a couple swinging strikes.
One and two. You could use this word to describe Michael Wirtz, what he's trying to do today and what Edwin Encarnacion has done recently, and that is get untracked. We've used that word before, and a few fans have said that's not a word. Well, it is. It's in the dictionary, and it's a sports term. It kind of almost doesn't make sense. Untracked, you would think it would be get on track. But that's the English language for you.
Yep, semi-boneless ham.
Wirtz untracked with a 1-2-3 ninth. It's 9-2 Reds.
For the doctors of Sacred Heart, no procedure is routine.
That's just wrong.
But every routine
She took your heart and just... Aren't you supposed to save those?
is a major production. Scrubs.
Oh, yeah! Tonight at 11 p.m. on Superstation WGN.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes. Thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water smart.
Because no lawnmower should be this hard to start, Black & Decker created the powerful 24-volt cordless mower. It starts easily, adjusts quickly, cuts up to 1/3 of an acre on a single charge, and even stores easily. The 24-volt cordless mower from Black & Decker.
But and then what am I supposed to do? Nothing. You live another day, I'll be very impressed.
It's over. Not yet. Beware my wrath. Is she dead? Pretty much. Have a nice day. Call me Punisher.
The producer of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Pete Toma. Our director is Skip Ellison. Mark Brady is our associate producer. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. That's not Bob. At one time it maybe was. Thanks as well to our stage manager in the booth, Paula Ostroba, and our studio coordinator back at WGN, Christina Ballas, and our entire WGN Sports crew here at Wrigley Field. Todd Coffey will work the bottom of the ninth. Couple of changes for Cincinnati. Juan Castro is playing second base. Ryan Friel grabbed his outfielder's mitt and is now playing left. Fontenot leading off again today, but it hasn't gone that well at the plate. He is 0 for 4.
Did hit a ball hard back in the fourth inning, right at Joey Votto at first base, however.
I don't think Mike has walked yet this year. 3-2. That little guy is walking.
That's what I need. One of those little belts to attach my food to my clothes in case I drop something. It'd be right there. I could resume eating. That's a pretty nice setup.
It really is. Do you need the lid too?
With the Tommy Tippy cup, I need it all, believe me.
We'll do this 3-2 pitch once again. 9-2 Cincinnati. The next 3-2 pitch, another foul. Trying to give everybody down along the third base line a souvenir. A lot of games under the lights. Everything in the American League is tonight. You have a couple of teams everybody thought would be at the top of the Central. Right now are both 5 and 10. Detroit at Cleveland. Goes 4-3 to start the bottom of the ninth. Boy, they cleaned out the concessions today. The foam cup claws. I'm sure a lot of cotton candy was consumed. A little caffeine. Always a good time for a photo here at Wrigley Field. Kicked up on Encarnacion. He will throw in time. Wow. Strong recovery there by Encarnacion, and hope Ryan Terrio's all right. Don't know if he had to stretch too much as he tried to beat that one out.
Well, sometimes that runner really stretches out, reaches for that bag, and jams that back cleat into your heel. Not sure from that replay exactly what it was. Ryan just did not look comfortable. That's a heck of a play by Encarnacion at third. Knocks it up in the air. He has to wait for it to come back down. The spin move. Strong, accurate throw across to Votto. Boy, you hope the ride's okay.
You never want to see a guy get hurt, but especially in a 9-2 game. But again, that's how he plays. Talking with Ed Halber, assistant athletic trainer. Modest hitting streak as far as numbers for Derek at 5, but a bunch of hits during that time, and he's 0 for 4 today.
Last couple of steps for Ryan Theriot, getting down that first baseline. He kind of tripped himself there. His left foot caught the back of his right calf as he came across the base. Hopefully nothing more serious than that. Just a little bruise on the back of his calf.
Now, head athletic trainer Mark O'Neill chatting with the righty. The Cubs are down to their final strike. A 1-2 pitch to Lee is low and away.
Quick hello to a couple of friends of ours watching in the clubhouse in San Diego. Just got a text message from Mark Grant, one of the fine announcers for the Padres. He's watching along with the Mad Dog, Greg Maddux. Pay attention, guys. You might learn something.
Mud and Mad Dog. Three and 2 on Lee. 9-2 Cincinnati. Coffey's next pitch. Slowly hit to Encarnacion. He is from the seat of his pants. Safe. He slipped a little bit. To go back to our line earlier, that's baseball. He made a very difficult play to get Theriot. That one was a lot easier, but he lost his footing.
Yeah, it looked like a very routine play. Slowly hit ball on that third base side. Encarnacion comes in to make the play, and when he tries to stop his momentum, both feet go out from under him. Still makes it a close play over there at first.
And it's a hit for Lee. Big swing by Ramirez.
Okay.
So a salvage hit for Derek. Since we mentioned the Padres, they're at home hosting the Rockies. Jeff Francis and Jake Peavy. Francis is 0-2 with a .953. Bouncer to third. Encarnacion again. The throw gets out of the mitt of Castro. And the Reds a little nonchalant here as they try to get that elusive 27th out. And the inning is still alive. The error will go to Encarnacion. He's seen the highs and lows as a third baseman in this half inning.
Tell it. Another fairly routine play. A couple steps to his backhand. Has plenty of time. Just kind of throws flat-footed onto Castro at second base. Castro didn't help his third baseman any right there. He stretched out way too soon. And then when the throw was offline, he wasn't able to make an adjustment.
Day in which Fukudome has struggled. 0 for 4. And you mentioned Greg Maddux watching. You know he's paying attention to Fukudome for a future matchup. See what his tendencies will be against a right-hander, Todd Coffey.
Most pitchers who study video as closely as Greg Maddux does, and they'll pick a pitcher who's similar to them in style. It doesn't really do any good for a guy whose fastball tops out at 85, 86 miles an hour, you know, to watch Edison Volquez pitch throwing 96. You try to pick a pitcher who's similar in style to you and has done well against a team you're going to face, and then try to see how they got him out.
Outside corner, 2-2. John Smoltz tonight will take a 2-0 record into his start at Florida. A 0.82 ERA along with it. Two-two pitch called strike 3 to end it. So Todd Coffey with a couple of runners on gets out of the ninth with no damage, and the Reds behind Joey Votto and Ken Griffey Jr. salvage the finale. 9-2 the final.
Yourself with Castrol GTX conventional motor oil. All weights $7.98 a gallon. It's less than $2 a quart. So whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
Now you can slow down and grill with new Kingsford Hickory Charcoal.
Hey, hi. Could you take all of these in for me, please?
All of them?
Well, it's the Boston cream pie and the apple turnovers and the white chocolate strawberries and the key lime pie.
So you need them let out?
No, in.
Out.
In.
Out.
No, in.
Yoplait Light. With 14 delicious flavors at 100 calories, it only tastes fattening.
Out?
Okay, I was just outside and then I came in. So if you could...
Today, I plan on not freaking out about my wireless bill. I plan on saying whatever when my daughter talks for hours. Yeah, I plan on being totally down with calling Denver in the middle of the afternoon, huh? Hollering at my boys, kicking it with three-way calling. I plan on grabbing my celly and getting my...
Dad!
Oh, sorry. Okay.
America's most reliable network introduces a plan with truly unlimited calling. Talk as much as you want with anyone in the U.S. for one flat rate. And now buy a text-friendly Envy or music playing chocolate for just $79.99. Verizon Wireless.
Today's Budweiser play of the game, Ken Griffey Jr. with his second home run of the series, career blast number 596. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. The final score today, the Cincinnati Reds 9, the Chicago Cubs 2. Stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th inning show is coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming. AM PM. AM PM. Too much good stuff. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Comcast. Proven advanced technology. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV. By Pepsi. Every sip gets you closer. And by Southwest Airlines. You're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Tough meets classy. The stylish four-door Ridgeline, built by Honda.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes, thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water Smart.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I love helping folks save money on car insurance, but I also love supporting wildlife conservation. I'm teaming up with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. I mean, that's why I'm here, really. I'm going to be making the rounds at a whole bunch of zoos. Hello? And I guess we're done talking? Well, that's that then, isn't it? Don't you even want to know where I'll be?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
What are you doing? Is that the Grand Slam? No.
Introducing the Build Your Own Grand Slam. Choose any 4 items and make it your slam, starting at $5.99.
Denny, real breakfast, 24/7.
Make an appointment with Becker tonight at 12:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
It's the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show. Now, here's Len Casper.
Well, the Reds are able to end their 5-game losing streak. The Cubs' 3-game win streak is over. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 6 left for the Reds. 2-9-2. The Cubs stranded 12. Volquez the winner. Lilly takes the loss, and we'll be back.
I don't know how it happened, but before I knew it, I owed back taxes. My family's business was in jeopardy. I was going to lose it all.
Thousands of Americans owe the IRS back taxes. Progressive Tax Group is a full-service tax firm that negotiates with the IRS to reduce your tax debt to pennies on the dollar. Our specialists know the IRS tax laws and can protect you from costly errors.
Progressive Tax Group listened to our situation and negotiated a plan we could live with.
It was such a relief.
They saved us thousands.
This is your best chance to settle your IRS tax debt. Progressive Tax Group is on your side. Our experts have over 30 years combined experience negotiating with the IRS. We can help you.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, Progressive Tax Group can help you settle for a fraction of what you owe.
Progressive Tax Group saved my family business. Now my biggest concern is the daily special.
Get your life back. Call Progressive Tax Group now.
Welcome to Progressive.com. Did you find your policy okay?
I did. Saved over $350.
We have a savings of $350. A savings of $350. You know, that comes with concierge claim service, local response claim service, and 24/7 live support, all at no extra charge.
Wow.
Wow, I know. I say it louder. Have a great day.
Lots of extra features that don't cost you extra. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, the Cubs had been playing very well here at home. They had won 4 straight before the loss today. I guess no bunt sign for Henry Blanco. That'll be talked about. Ted Lilly feels a little bit better about his performance. Not all the way back, but at least he got through 6.
His stuff was a little crisper today. His breaking ball was a little better. He was able to get that fastball in on some of the Reds' right-handed hitters. Ironically, it was Joey Votto, the left-handed hitter in the Reds lineup, that really did the damage today.
Big start for Rich Hill tomorrow as he looks for his first win.
Yeah, hopefully he'll come in the right direction. It's been 8 days since he went out there and towed the slab in anger, so hopefully he's got some things worked out in his time he spent in the bullpen and will come out and be the Rich Hill that we saw last year.
We'll check out the Culver's sweet defensive play when we return.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's. Bright smiles, fresh, juicy butter burgers, and velvety smooth frozen custard. Come on into Culver's and get Culverized.
And then what am I supposed to do? Nothing. You live another day, I'll be very impressed.
It's over. Not yet.
Beware my wrath. Is she dead? Pretty much.
Have a nice day. Call me Punisher.
Something to remind me of another place and time.
Have you or someone you know suffered from Stevens-Johnson syndrome? It's a serious, sometimes fatal skin reaction that has been linked to many commonly used medications, including Bextra, Dilantin, and children's Motrin. Stevens-Johnson syndrome can result in severe and permanent complications, such as blindness, extensive scarring, and respiratory problems. Call 800-589-7153 if you or someone you know has been hospitalized with Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Our lawyers will give you a free review of your claim.
Time to check out our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game. It was an adventure in the 9th for Edwin Encarnacion, but this was a terrific play, and we hope Ryan Terrio's okay after he tripped over first base. Thank you, Culver's. Come into Culver's and get Culverized. 9-2 Cincinnati the final. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's. Bright smiles, fresh, juicy butter burgers, and velvety smooth frozen custard. Come on into Culver's and get Culverized.
Stay tuned. Sister starts right now on Superstation WGN. It's great to be home. We now join our program, already in progress.
And make sure Miss Leslie's hotel room is ready in an hour. Well, have the concierge